you're affected as well.
Well, I'm gonna say this. It's just my opinion. Then I want to say hello to First Lady. I've had like really serious intellectual conversations with John, so I know John has that ability. As far as the streaming stuff, dude, but it's never bothered me. So it's not like he changed my opinion on it. It just to me was never. I still don't understand what the big deal is. My thing is I'm big on respect. If people in the space say, "Hey, man, can you not do this?" It makes me feel uncomfortable. Why do you think I don't have replays on ever, Double? Because if people are tend to be more vulnerable and come to the stage and have real conversations when they're not being recorded. I believe that wholeheartedly. You never see replays on in my space. But let me say hello. Hold on, Doctor. I have to say hello to the most beautiful woman on this app. First Lady Chi, how you doing?
You're too kind. Good evening. Good evening,
I'm
JP.
too honest.
Hey, Mr. Handsome. How are you? What's shaking?
Well, we somehow fell on this rabbit hole of Mr. Kitover live streaming moves all the time. I'm one of those people. I don't care, but I believe you do.
I do. The problem I have with it is, first, the state that I live in, you have to get permission to record me. That's number one. Number two, you're taking content from me and making money off of me, and I'm not getting a cut. Are you crazy? Are you insane? Have you lost your mind? No, absolutely not. No, I think that is crazy. No. So I hope you get good numbers, because for this particular time when you're recording, sir, even though I did not give you permission, I don't think it's good. Now I do understand that if somebody is recording their own space, hey, have away at it, stream away, because they're letting everybody know that this call is being recorded and monitored for quality purposes, okay? So I don't have a problem with that. But if you have a space, like you just said, JB, that you're not recording yourself within the clubhouse, space that the conversation is having, then people may be, open and more vulnerable because of the fact that they feel as though it's not being recorded, right? So for somebody to be recording when you don't know, I don't think that that's right. That's an invasion of my privacy.
Ooh, can I, First Lady, if you don't mind, JP, if I can give a slight little pushback, First Lady, this is actually a friendly one.
This is my opinion, so you can't push back on my opinion. You can share your opinion, but you can't push back on my opinion, because my opinion is my opinion.
Okay.
I didn't make this sense. Yeah.
Your opinion, in listening to it, I'm kind of curious. Are you upset at the police then? And the reason why I asked that question is because they record you without your consent all the time. When you go through traffic, cameras are recording you all the time. Convenience stores are recording you all the time. People on the street are recording you all the time. Like, are you upset at the notion that you know that they're recording you, or you're upset at the fact that you know that they're recording you and they're benefiting from it? So I mean, which is it? I mean, but you're recording.
The law distinguishes between video and audio recordings, for the record. Just, I don't know if anybody else knows that, but like, even security cameras can't record audio because that is a violation of your First Amendment rights. So audio is a specifically protected right. Your right to your voice, the right to free, aka speech.
She just said she wanted a cut, and I'm more than happy to give a payout if I make a dime. I haven't made a penny doing this.
No,
and the First Lady said in her room, the money chases her. She don't chase the money.
Hold on a second, John.
He's literally breaking a law every day on this app. Because we have real jobs and we don't live with our mothers like
I've been doing this 5 years. It's your opinion I'm breaking the law, Dr. Articulate.
Yeah,
It is
it's really not a law. He's really not breaking the law. I'm not a big fan of what he does, but he's not breaking the law. When you look at single party, when you look at one party and two party laws that govern recording audio, they all state in a private conversation. So if you're in a public forum and it's being recorded, That's not the same thing as a private conversation with two
I
people where only one
understand the
person
distinction,
consents.
but I get
So,
it. But we're in a new.
But I mean, you're a smart guy. Call it what it is, and be honest.
I was gonna get there.
Well, according to the clubhouse guidelines that was spoken tonight at town hall, it is against their guidelines. So I don't know, talking about law or whatever. I know for the state that I'm in, you cannot record me unless I give you permission to. If I'm in a space that is not being recorded, right, then that means that you would have to get permission from me to record me. Period. I don't understand what's the math and why people can't, add
that's
1
not
plus
the law.
1.
The law is a private conversation. This is not a private conversation.
Sir.
So it's not true that your state would make this particular case.
Sir.
No,
Sir.
ma'am, I'm just telling you the law.
Did you hear what I said about the guidelines?
The guidelines are not laws either. The guidelines are also.
The guidelines, if you break the guidelines within this, then that could actually be taken to court. You're not
Are you a fucking defense attorney, Mike? You know this guy is a fucking maniac. He's unethical, Mike.
I like the truth. I like the truth. When people are stealing things that aren't true, I like to clarify.
You don't know the truth.
Guys, let me just say this.
I'm not defending him.
Mike, I got you. I promise you. Just give me the number. It says, just because it might be unethical doesn't mean it's illegal. Go ahead, Mike.
100%. And I want to clarify, because not everyone in the room does understand that there are single-party and two-party consent laws that govern private conversations, but they don't apply to Clubhouse. And Clubhouse might have guidelines of their own business purposes, for their own business purposes, that say that they can't be recorded. Again, that's not a state law. That's Clubhouse. And if Clubhouse doesn't kick him off or act accordingly as a result of their rules, then the rules are kind of pointless. There's no laws being broken. I just want to make that clear. We can't say, in the state I'm in, you can't record me. Well, you can. On Clubhouse, you can. If you're on a phone call with somebody, you can't. And potentially, although I don't know what state you're in some states you can. So single party and two-party, approval is sometimes needed depending on the state. But again, that doesn't apply to Clubhouse. So I just want to make it clear when we say things that we feel, that we clarify, that we don't say things are illegal when they're not. Like it's just common sense to be accurate. I mean, what words matter and accuracy is important. That's all.
Words do matter. So John,
why
why don't you go ahead and tell him?
Recording us, because words
Let's go ahead and advise the people of how you have received a cease and desist of doing this. Go ahead. Tell the people.
Yeah, a C&D arrived. I don't want to disclose who it's from because we also sent out a C&D to stop the campaign from being harassed. So I just want to say, if there's any.
Find that harassing? Huh? Amazing.
Well, you said earlier.
What you're doing as harassing.
Well,
amazing.
You said earlier that you wanted a cut when we start making money. We ain't making any money yet. We raised $600 for the campaign to get into Congress, and that's probably more than anybody's ever made from this fucking piece of shit app. It's a conference call, lady. It's a free, open, public space conference call, and you think you're entitled to some kind of privacy rights? Go read a book and hit the gym.
Mike over here enabling the abuser because he wants to be Mr. Legal. Look at this guy, John. Mike, you feel good about this? He's yelling at a black woman about her rights and what she isn't deserving of because you went and put a legal eagle battery pack inside of him.
I'm defending myself, Dr. Articulate, and JB's my number one.
I'm sorry for maintaining factual accuracy. I know factual accuracy. I know there's inconvenient truth. I apologize for being inconvenient.
If I don't hit the gym?
Hold on a second. I need to read something here. We're going to put this to bed. Hold on. I Googled it. Because Jem said Google it. Recording someone on a social audio app may be illegal depending on your state's consent laws or whether the other participants have a reasonable expectation of privacy. The Federal Wiretap Act requires only one party's consent to record, but some states require two-party or all-party consent. So there you go, guys. It's illegal in certain states.
I know it is. That's why I wasn't going to sit there and argue with him. I don't argue the truth.
You're First Lady.
I don't argue the truth.
If you don't apologize, First Lady Mike, I'm going to think you're racist. I'm not saying that's.
Yeah, well, that's a good read. Actually, I would have apologized, but if that's the threat, if the threat is for me to be called a racist, then I'll deliberately not apologize.
Well, now you're
can
definitely
accuse me of being a racist.
Well,
That's
I
fine.
said,
Hold on.
now he's for sure racist. That's confirmed now.
Hold on. You can believe what you want. The man's definitely not racist. But let me say this. John,
Not
hold
racist
on.
apologize to black women when they're wrong.
Hold on. John, you definitely owe an apology to the First Lady. So I'm going to tell you now, if anybody on this app that I will never allow anything disparaging to be said, it's definitely First Lady. So I'm going to ask you to be a man and apologize to this woman. Because I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, and I'm not shooting any shot at you, she's a beautiful woman just the way she is. So please be a man and apologize to her.
Okay, First Lady, I want to apologize, and I'm doing this from my sincere bottom of my heart, but also JB is my #1 campaign contributor, and so is Mike Moon, so I just, it's their space, and maybe I disrespected you, so I'm apologizing. I'm saying I'm sorry. I hope you accept the apology, First Lady. Thank you for consideration, First Lady.
Listen, hold on a second, bro. We just saw what happened with the last RICO big case. I ain't worried about no RICO case. Let's stay
I'm gonna get you on something.
let's stay on topic. I want to hand the mic to this First Lady. Then I want to say a little capitals to T.O. First Lady, did you want to chime in again?
Oh, well, thank you for the apology, Mr. John. I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. And it's okay. I really don't need an apology from Mike. I understand he was saying what he was saying, because I understand that part of the law as well. But I had already did the research on this, and that's why I was saying it. But it's all good. Peace, love, and happiness. Thank you, Dr. Articulate. I appreciate you, brother.
I got you back in rooms that aren't yours. When I go back to your room, though, I'm gonna act up because you do me dirty in there. But that's not for mixed company to hear about.
Listen, bro. Anytime she comes to my space, it's her room too. But let me say hello to Cackles and T.O. Cackles, what's good? Cackles?
Hey, yeah. So I was just, when you guys were all arguing about whatever, I had a ChatGPT listening in, so I figured I could let it give a response to literally everything it heard, since this is what we're talking about anyway. So I'm gonna just pause it for a second.
All right. Are you done, Cackles?
No, I was gonna let it talk. I was supposed to talk.
I'll have whatever you're having.
What do you mean?
So hilarious tonight, JB. I am in tears laughing. This stage is so funny tonight.
Oh, damn! It didn't record. My bad. All right, so forget everything I just said.
We forgot when you first said it, Cackles.
Thank you. So I feel so much better that you forgot.
Nah, we love Cackles. Cackles, let me say hello to T.O., man. T.O., how you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm here to protect First Lady because John been doing that shit for a minute. Recording people's rooms, and he's streaming it to YouTube while they're doing it, putting the dumb Democrats and shit like that. Yeah, I've been and I seen that shit, and I was like, that is fucking weird. What makes go set up a whole different thing and stream it and put dumb Democrats or dumb. That was one that really has stood out. And I'm like, the fuck is streaming to YouTube for? What's the point?
Well, I can't answer for him. I'll give him a chance, T.O. And first of all, it's good to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while. But see, here's one of the mistakes that us men make on this app, right? We see somebody like First Lady, and we're like, oh, she's pretty, so she can't be that tough. Yo, First Lady will take down some of the biggest men on this app. She's no pushover, trust me.
I mean, I just view all communication as being political. So if I'm a nobody nothing and I have to create some type of buzz to get some notice from the voters to defeat Darren LaHood, Well, if I'm putting political connotation in the title of some live stream video, which is all just under my name, I mean, the point is, I question why people come here to have endless conversations with no goals or objectives. I know we're social creatures, but I'm also trying to help awaken and enlighten people as to the good news. And that's that I'm running for Congress, of course.
Objective for some people is to come on social audio and listen and engage, or listen to learn, or just be entertained. There's something for everyone on this app. Whatever you're looking for, you can curate your experience on Clown House. And that's the objective. The objective is to find your tribe to vibe out with. And most people, dare I say, everyone who uses this app, that is the objective. Even your objective is to record folks who are vibing out with their tribe, and then to come in their spaces and mock them. See how that works?
Yeah, I mean, the argument, if we're going to take John's argument at face value, is, and I don't know if this is wrong, it's unhinged to talk to strangers all day who have no qualifications or expertise in subject matter when there's potentially better places to go to for information. I can see that. The question is it more unhinged or less unhinged to record these useless conversations all day for 3 people on your YouTube from your mom's basement with a 3 cell phone rig? And I'm going to say that the latter is crazier than the former. And you can't get out of that, John. You're still
No, I can, Dr. Articulate.
The people you seek to condemn
Dr. Articulate. Dr. Articulate.
Hold on a second, John. I'm going to give you a chance in 1 second. But Dr. Articulate, I do have to push back. It's probably a 10-phone setup. He's upgraded. I don't know if you've seen his whole setup.
Okay, move it up.
It's kind of like next level insanity, but
that's actually, that literally puts a lump in my throat when I think about the place like someone must be to be here. Like, what could have gone wrong? What could have happened to an individual to arrive at this existence? 2025, John.
I'm enjoying myself. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not stressed out. I'm perfectly financially and, health-wise, everything is going great. And the fact is, if I did have haters, I'd have no success at all.
John,
how's the wife?
How many phones do you have set up, John? Be honest.
Look at my PTR. I just updated. I'm live streaming the room to 13 different YouTube accounts and X and Clubhouse. I mean, this is the thing is, everybody comes here for a conversation. I come here to record. That's because I'm a filmmaker. And not many people, a lot of people here like to think they're creative, but they're not actually capturing their creativity. Not only am I capturing my creativity, I'm capturing your creativity.
Okay, I'm interested.
So that setup, Doctor, hold on a second. That setup is definitely serial killer vibes. Just my opinion, no smoke. Go ahead, Doctor, I'll take it.
100%. I never heard him make the filmmaker angle, because now he's definitely potentially working into some type of litigious space where all of us are about to get a bag off John and sue him till his life.
I hope I can give you a bag. I hope I get a bag so everybody can get a little piece of the bag. I like to share. Sharing is caring.
I'm going to ruin your life if you try to have any success off of recordings with my voice.
Oh, like I'm worried about you, Dr. Articulate. Okay, Ipak Shakur.
End your world. I've worked for several major studios, and I know this isn't how it goes.
Well, make some introductions. Stop being a hater.
Wait, let me ask this question, Doctor, because I know Mike will try to jump in also, but who's going to buy this content? Where's the audience for this content? He gets 2 or 3 viewers. Like, who's he? Warner Brothers buying this content? I'm just curious.
The audience is Clown House. You're my #1 fans because they use me to sort through all the shit and to find out where to go. I'm the main node here, and you are just little nodes.
So the money makes one massive ego. You have
I wanted to make one clarification, JB, just again for accuracy's sake. The privacy aspect of the one-party, two-party consent does apply to what you were reading. What you were reading is a general fact, but it's more complicated than that. And if you read further into it, you'll see that the expectation of privacy is a major part. So if you're in a social media app and you're in a one-on-one conversation in a private setting on a social media app, that could certainly be treated as a phone call. and it could be illegal in a two-party state, although we haven't determined that First Lady's even in a two-party state. She hasn't identified which state.
Oh, now you come up for her state.
That said, the private aspect of it does not necessarily and probably doesn't apply to group chat audio apps, according to everything I'm reading. So I've gone deeper into it. So it kind of falls in what I said. The privacy part of it is an important part of the one-party, two-party consent, and there's no privacy in here. So it doesn't
you don't
really
know if
apply.
you're right. You're still reading. Finish when you finish your research.
Doctor, if you'd like a source, I can give it to you. I've done enough research to understand that I was right in the first place. Doctor, please don't talk over me. You can talk
now
about.
John mad.
Please don't talk over me. You can no. It's just that I'm a moderator, so you shouldn't talk over me. It's just how the app works.
What is that supposed to mean?
It's supposed to mean that you don't talk over mods on the app. That's how it works.
What are you, a deacon in a church?
Okay, yeah. So we'll move you to the audience. I'll bring you back once you understand that's how it works. So that said, I did do the further research. I was correct on the privacy aspect, and I just wanted to point out that apologizing would have been a little preemptive, considering it looks like I'm probably more right than wrong, and we're still focused on accuracy, I hope. Thank you. I'll go ahead and bring him back up now so he can talk.
See, we went from the pee-pee show to the John Kitover show, and see, this is what people want. They want to be the center of attention. They want to stir the pot if they have some type of objective. I'm running for Congress. I need your shekels. I need you to make a donation now. I'm not going to keep going, but this is what Pepe ultimately wants too. This is what Brad wants. People want a will to power, and they're trying to rise. So that's why people come in these rooms and they say, Grand Rising!
But the thing about it, John, though, is that folks don't need to be, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but some might argue that you are, folks don't need to be hurt, harassed, doxxed, and or threatened as part of any one person's objective or agenda on this app.
Oh, I agree. I've been attacked. I've been libeled. I've been slandered. I'm saying if you come on this app and you make death threats, you are by default violating the law. That's the primary law. You can Google it. If you come on this app and you make death threats, you're violating the law, and you can be arrested for that.
I'm just here to say it went from someone saying, oh, I'm right and you're wrong, to someone saying, well, I'm more right than I am wrong. Give it another 30 seconds of reading, and somebody's going to owe First Lady an apology. That's all I got to say. And
Doctor, do you remember in the beginning when I said that there's an expectation? Do you remember in the beginning when I was very firm on the expectation of privacy aspect of the law? I know you glanced over it because you were listening for what you wanted to hear, but the expectation of privacy, nobody comes on Clubhouse expecting privacy unless you're in a one-on-one. Now, if you pulled someone aside, if you waved at somebody, and you were one-on-one and somehow somebody cracked into that, or even worse yet, one of the people in a one-on-one on this app decided to record the conversation without the other person's approval, being that one of the two of you was in a two-party consent state, then you potentially have a case. But the expectation of privacy is kind of arguably the most important factor about whether or not something's illegal, because you're going to have a very hard time proving it in court if you can't provide evidence that the person reasonably expected for there to be privacy in the conversation. And that doesn't change what I said in the beginning. I just went and found further evidence to provide you the knowledge that the apology for being wrong would have been preemptive, because even if I wasn't wrong, or even if I wasn't right, which I think I am, I definitely wasn't wrong either. So, and I'm not racist for not apologizing when I'm not wrong. Thank you, Doctor.
You don't get to tell me what is racist. I'll decide that at the end of this conversation.
I think it's racist for black people to decide what racism is.
I think it's racist that you have Hakeem Jeffries dressed up as Tupac.
I think black people who say that they're the ones in charge of what racist means are totally racist.
I always smell a racist, even when I don't know if I'm being fair. It always turns out that I'm fair.
I always smell racist when I hear a black guy talk about racism when it has nothing to do with the conversation.
Something about the way Mike is trying to cast himself as an authority while being clearly underread tells me he might be.
It's something about how a black guy brings racism into a conversation about one-party, two-party consent that tells me that he's racist. It's something about that.
I said I'll just joke about Mike being racist, and I bet you he'll reveal that he's racist. And it works every time with you types.
I know you get what you're looking for, don't you, doctor? Don't you get what you're looking for when you do that?
I do. I smelled it on you. I smelled it on you, Mike.
Hold on. What? And I'm asking sincerely. In your opinion, why do you think he's racist? Because I've been around Mike 5 years. He's far from a racist, but I wonder why you feel that.
You know how even though like sometimes you don't agree with First Lady, you still treat her like a princess because you think she's like a beautiful woman deserving of like fair treatment. Mike doesn't have that, and that was like a red flag. The way he was addressing her, I was like, he don't see that she's fine. Why? You would have to be racist to not know First Lady's fine. JB knows she's fine. Anyway, it's like that.
That's solid logic there, doctor. Thanks for that. That brings a lot of clarity to the issue.
It turns out to be true.
Guys, doctor, hold on. Let me just say this. And I'm not doxing him because he's spoken out in public. I'm divorced, right? Mike is happily married for 25 plus years. So his view of what somebody's beautiful because he's happily married might be different than mine since I'm a cynical divorce guy.
Yeah, but that just means you was getting it too good in life. That's why you ended up getting divorced. No, I'm kidding. That really wasn't how I knew Mike was racist. Actually didn't know he was racist, but I had a feeling probably because, look at that picture. That guy can't be great. But
you know what's funny, doctor? I thought you were racist when you brought race into a conversation about one-party, two-party consent laws. So that's when I knew you were racist.
Well, I mean, you're a white guy that confidently calls black people you don't know racist.
See, that's projection. That's a good example of projection. If somebody else calls somebody a racist, they're usually the racist.
You just want to call me racist? You just want to call black people racist for what?
Hold on, I can't.
Referencing race?
For acting racist when they do.
Hold on.
Okay, Mike. Keep pinching your chin. We'll all think you're really smart. If you just pinch that chin a little bit firmer, we'll all think you know things. Keep looking at
the law. If you have a witty comeback and a sarcastic, snappy rebuttal, we'll think you're really intelligent too, doctor. You're doing a good job there.
Well, here's a question about consent. If you come into a room that says that it's a part of a group that you must join, and the person that is Bill, the founder and creator of the room, says we're not recording, is that reasonable expectation of not being recorded? And are you certain that all courts would say, no, you should expect to be recorded in that situation?
I'm not sure that all courts would say anything consistent.
All right,
courts are different. But I would like to have this conversation.
You don't know.
I would definitely like to have this conversation after you get your law degree. So please, holler at me when that happens.
Hey, can I just?
Yeah, let's go to Theo. Let's go to Theo, please. Yeah, Theo.
The person, I'm just listening, booking my flight to New York and shit like that, and I'm listening to you guys. That is not the definition of racism. If someone says something is racist, you cannot turn around and say you're racist for calling something racist. I'm sorry, but that is the most.
If you call Mike racist again, they're gonna call you racist, and then where are we gonna be?
Let him win, bro. Go ahead, Theo.
I'm just speaking on that part alone. Means you're searching for something to throw, like, what are you or what am I type of whatever how that saying goes. But it's immature and it's childish. I hate when I hear people say that when someone brings up race and the Southerner says, oh, that's racist, or you're racist because you said I'm racist. Like, no, race means your prejudice towards another person of hate of another person. Not calling it out. Hold on.
I want you to say
actually, doctor, you're the only one in the room that actually needs the education.
Well, he's talking about you, Mike. I want Theo to say
I am, Mike. I'm talking about you because you called him racist when he was just describing what was racist, and that's not being racist. Racist is saying, I don't like you because you're white. I don't like you. Hold on, can I finish, please?
What you're saying applies to both directions equally. That's what's interesting about what you're saying. It literally applies to both directions equally.
Only part I'm talking about is he called something being racist, and you called him racist for calling out something that he thinks is racist.
No, I called him racist for bringing race into the issue of a one-party, two-party consent conversation. Whenever there's a conversation that doesn't involve race and the person brings race in on purpose, I think they're racist. Yeah, I do.
That's because you're racist, Mike.
Hold on. Doctor, can me and him have this intellect?
I feel like y'all like teaching these folks just because you want to make sure you still know how to do it.
No.
Save this for a real racist moment.
Can I?
Wait, before you guys finish, I want to remind you what the room title is. It says, "Why are so many people mad?" Do you think maybe racial identity politics is why people are getting so angry all the time? Because this is all that people want to talk about?
Hold on a second.
Beware all white people. If you speak right now, you're going to be called racist.
Hold on a second, guys. I want to let T.O. have a chance because he hasn't spoken much. I want to give T.O. a chance to land. Please don't come off mic. If you do, I'm just going to have to remove you. Go ahead, T.O.
All right, but Mike, just to end it right here, because I can tell everybody want to speak. No, I'm sorry, but you are a smart person because you sound like you say you have a law degree and that takes a lot of dedication and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that is a very ignorant comment to say if someone calls something racist that's not racist. You can believe what you want to believe because it sounds like you have your mind made up, but at the same time, you're drilling a hole in your head for no reason for calling something.
I'm just a little confused. Hold on, Mike. Let me just this.
I need to be able to respond since you addressed me directly.
I got you, bro. I promise. But I don't understand how somebody calling out somebody for bringing race into a conversation that had nothing to do with race is a racist. Somebody make that make sense. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, and somebody make it make sense. Hang on, and somebody make it make sense that he branded me a racist with absolutely no reason to do so because I didn't identify First Lady as attractive according to his observation. Does someone identify Tio? Please identify to me where was logical that he branded me a racist with no evidence before I ever said anything about him.
Back to the real.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I want to speak on that, so I forgot about that part.
Yeah, I'll be quick. So, the first...
I'd like to hear from Tio first, then Dr. Second.
Because it's a point of clarity, and then Tio can go.
I don't need your clarity, Doctor. I'd like to hear from Tio, please.
I didn't call you racist the first time. You made a joke about it. Your reaction is what made you racist.
David, to speak on what you said, yes, I think that's very idiotic for someone to say if they didn't like a different person with a certain color or whatever. It's just, I don't think she's attractive. I don't see how you're racist because he said that he doesn't like that he doesn't think that she's cute. Now, if he would have said, I don't like her, she has a big nose and big ears and blah, 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 looks like a watermelon eating person, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, you're racist. But all he said was, I don't think she's attractive. So for you to call him racist for saying
I didn't say she's not attractive.
Okay, well, you didn't say that either. You know what I mean?
No, I said she was wrong about what she was saying. I didn't say anything about her looks at all.
This is why you didn't answer.
I said she was wrong.
He was afraid of my answer.
I said she was wrong, and I wasn't going to apologize because I wasn't proven wrong.
He's taking a joke and trying to make you give a literal answer for it to wipe out the context.
All right, hold on a second,
actually
guys.
got called.
All right, Doctor, I'm going to come back to you. I promise. You'll get all the space you want.
Thank you.
Because we got some new speakers on stage I got to get to. Israel, how you doing tonight, Israel Wilson?
I'm doing all right. I just want to commend you guys for, regardless of the disagreement, you guys are having a discourse at least. And in a lot of these rooms, that doesn't happen. People talk over each other and get disrespectful. So I just want to say that. Then I'm gonna play the mediator devil's advocate on a lot of sides. So first of all, the definition in Webster's of racism changed some years ago, but the actual definition of racism is an institutionalization of discrimination, right? So to be a racist, you have to be in power over a situation, and that is racism. So that is historic. That is the reality. Prejudice now is a thing. You can be prejudiced. Any person can be prejudiced against another race. They can bring their prejudge. To prejudge is the thing. Now I know that it's become a popular conversation now to call anybody that has any racial disagreements a racist, but you can actually go and find the exact date in which Webster changed the definition of racism. Racism was the institutionalization of discrimination by those who own. So a perfect example is right now the South African government, which is black, is being racist against white South Africans because they are in power and they are able to do so. Otherwise, that's not racism.
that's not happening.
I'd like to respond.
What is going on, JB? Give me my mic time back. You are losing the conversation.
Bring prejudice in different situations, and that is not.
Sounds like it was the articulate Negus' turn, but I'd like to go after the articulate Negus if possible.
Come on now. We're about to trade into like white supremacist lies.
And I'm gonna look up the Webster definition because I think he lied about the
Moon, I
Webster
just
definition.
looked it up. You already know Mike Moon, but I already looked it up.
I think he lied about the Webster
You already know, but I looked it up.
All right, guys. Why do we have 6 people talking at the same time? We have one mic policy.
Because we need a fact check.
Hold on a second.
We need a fact check on Israel's assertion.
Okay, we'll get the fact check. But guys, I'm telling you, I want a one mic policy. I put a queue in order. Everybody gets to speak, and then we're going to come back around. So I'm going to go to my friend, Dope, your piece, and then back to Israel. Again, my friend.
That is very kind of you, JB. Yeah, that's very kind of you,
And
JB.
my friend is not even white.
Well, wait a minute. Well, wait a minute.
Not white. So why are you even in this?
Me?
You're not white.
Oh, I don't know, because I just looked up the definition, but I think it was articulate Negus' turn. Let it be shown. Oh, he left. He left. He got butthurt and left.
I didn't leave. I got booted.
Oh, I see. You're back. You're back. Let it be known. Let it be known that I defended the articulate Negus.
I mean, you say my name like you really like saying it.
It's fun to disappoint.
Wait. Oh, Doctor, hold on.
I was going to briefly satisfy Mike Moon's request and tell you that I looked up the Webster definition, and the definition, according to Merriam-Webster, racism is the belief that race is a fundamental determinant of human traits, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race, has nothing to do with that anti-blackness. The second definition of racism is the systemic oppression of a racial group to the social, economic, and political advantage of another. Still has nothing to do with anti-blackness. So racism
When
is
you suppress another group socially, economically,
Hold on a second, guys, Doctor. I'm gonna go to your piece because I go to ladies first. Your piece, how you doing, hon? Your piece.
Hey, how you doing? I was about to walk away because I wanted to take a break because I want to respect the space. But I'm going to go ahead and speak. I'm going to be short. To the person who was just speaking, I appreciate him reading from the dictionary. But I thought this was, no shade, I thought this was white people telling black people what they felt that racism was. Systemically, if you purposely, for example, redlining, try to exclude a group, economically or socially, which redlining is a social discrimination.
Okay, there's a campaign to elect John Kitover for Congress.
Like he did, and I was there when it happened, they were acting racist. They weren't acting racist from a systemic standpoint. That's the third definition under Webster. They were actually acting racist under the first two definitions, which involve somebody's race and characterizing them based on the race that has nothing to do with the social status or the power. So to conveniently label a definition with the third version that you agree with and to ignore the first two and say that those don't somehow apply is misleading at best and a deliberate mischaracterization of the definition at worst.
But that's what that third definition is.
Hold on one second. I want
And the or means that still applies.
Your piece. Let me ask you a question, because I'm curious. You said it a few times. Doctor, bro, chill, bro. You got all night. I promise you.
I don't have all night. I want to go to bed. I just want to talk to Mike real quick and then go to bed.
I want to go to bed too. You can talk to Mike in a second, bro. Give me a second, please. Thank you. Your piece. Why do you say that my friend is not white? He looks white to me in the picture.
My friend is not white. He does not look white. And that could be me being prejudiced and misleading, but he does not look like a white man to me.
What does he look like?
He could be white passing, but he definitely looks like he is of Jewish descent.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me go to dope, and then I'm going to go to
Wow,
dope.
you did it fucking again, JB. I'm about to.
Bro, let me tell you something.
I'm about to leave this club. This is.
All right, then have a nice night.
That sounds like a racist interpretation of my friend.
Well, I want to go to dope because dope's been on stage for about 45 minutes, hasn't had a chance to say hello to anybody yet. What's up, dope?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm just enjoying the conversation at this point. It seems like we're talking about who can be racist or not. So it's just a classic, another edition of racism debates on Clubhouse. I'm here for it. Everybody else, someone can go. I'm not hogging the mic.
Thank you. I want to go back to Israel because Israel let me get a chance to land. Israel?
Yeah, so I just want to say that the definitions can change over time, and that there have been changes to the definition. But if we go back to let me frame this like this. I'm a political scientist. My years of study focused on race, mostly around Nazism and things like that. My professor was Stephen Eric Bronner. He was a survivor of the Holocaust, and I had a lot of time to spend. And when you write papers on history, you have to use first person sources, and you have to use direct statements. And
the one his title is Chief Quack in Charge. No, I'll be nice. Let me give you his real title. He is Florida's Surgeon General, okay? And he was appointed by Ron DeSantis. So he's saying that it is slippery. And then he goes, and listen to this quote, every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. That makes no sense. If I was standing next to him right there at that podium, I just would have slapped the shit out of him. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Can you say that line again? And drips with what?
Okay. Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. That's a quote.
That is crazy.
So it also says he altered data in a 2022 study about COVID vaccines in an attempt to exaggerate the risk to young men who received them. See what I'm saying about this? This Negro should be in jail. And he up here talking about we need to get rid of vaccines. And he's altered data in a study to make it lean more toward being a risk to young men. That's Satan right there, right? He said, and he also has been accused of peddling scientific nonsense. He says another quote, people have the right to make their own decisions. Who am I as a government or anyone else to tell you what you should put in your body? Our body is a gift from God. What you put in your body is because of your I almost choked. Because of your relationship with your body and your God. Okay, let me see if I can finish this up. Hold on. Let me finish it out. Okay. He condemned lockdowns and vaccines requirements in the coronavirus as a time when, quote, when crazy things did happen, is what he said. And said that growing skepticism of vaccines, were reflections of God's light against the darkness of tyranny and oppression. Formerly affiliated with the controversial ultra-conservative America's Frontline Doctors Group, Lapato has long railed against COVID vaccines. In 2023, after faking his study, he urged Florida residents to ignore public health advice and reject the RNA booster shots that he falsely claimed had not been tested on humans. Several of his other positions on public health issues, such as promoting the removal of fluoride from drinking water and urging parents to reject measles vaccines for their children, have been called dangerous and a disservice to Florida residents. Let me see if that's the end of it, because a paywall came out.
I mean, but the amount of fluoride in the water, though, it wouldn't cause that much effect.
Remember, we had this argument, Dap, in another conversation. Remember, Dap, when somebody was talking about this?
No, I don't remember. Refresh my memory. I'm being serious.
We were talking about this because remember somebody was saying, "Oh, fluoride causes people to be sick and blah blah blah," and we were saying the amount of fluoride that's actually in water is not that much that it would cause people to do this, because fluoride's been in water for like 50 years, exactly. And it doesn't cause that much. It actually helps. It actually, right. In fact, the reason why we don't have problems with our teeth now is because we have fluoride. And if you look at Europeans, because they don't have fluoride, they have terrible teeth.
Have you ever seen their
teeth? Terrible teeth. Yeah. I'm sorry?
Yeah, so have you ever seen their teeth? It's terrible.
Yeah, they're awful. They're absolutely disgusting.
Their teeth are jacked.
Period. Yeah. So the last part I'm going to say also is this quack science and this quasi science is really scary to me, because you guys don't understand what the long-term effects of all of this is. It's not, oh, well, okay, this is going to be over once this administration is over, and then this all turns back the hands of time. No, the effects is going to be 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And then the people that you have to now put back in place to try to refix all of this, and now the people who you have to now reset their minds, and the young people now who have been convinced of all this quasi nonsense, they are now going to spew this crap to the next generation of children of this nonsense, because now people do no longer believe in data and science and facts, because all they believe in is X and bullshit and alternative facts. I'm tired of this.
Can I also throw in, it's not a discussion about COVID, but to be clear, he was promoting ivermectin, and what was the other one during the COVID breakout? So, yeah.
Ivermectin, isn't that the horse pill?
Oh, another thing, Florida doesn't have fluoride in their water.
It's for Florida all the way to me, but that's just the way I feel.
Look it up, y'all. They don't have fluoride in their water.
Yeah, he was promoting hydroxychloroquine.
Yes.
And ivermectin, and refused to wear a mask when meeting with a state senator in Florida who is undergoing radiation treatment. Like, that's how disgusting these people are.
That is disgusting. He's very disgusting. And the guy who invented the smallpox vaccine in 1796, his name was Edward Jenner. He's rolling rotisserie style in his grave right now. It's just 100%. Now, this is wrong. You don't have to, mandating vaccines is because you're trying to save people's lives. And if I give you guys the numbers here, it says routine childhood vaccinations have prevented about 508 million cases of illnesses, 32 million hospitalizations, 1.3 million deaths among children born between 1994 and 2023, according to what now? The Center of Disease Control and Prevention published last year. And you guys can start forgetting about getting these stats put out by the CDC, because now that the bear hugger is in charge of it, you're not going to be able to see these stats that we rely on in the medical field. It's estimated that the vaccine program nationally resulted in direct savings of $540 billion and societal savings of 2.7 trillion.
If you dare put out stats that show negative numbers, like, oh, we're not doing well, you'll be fired, as we saw with the jobs numbers.
Yep. It's
right.
It's the sad thing, like not having these mandates is going to lower herd immunity, and some of these vaccines are combo vaccines, and these people don't realize that, like, you know, they're screwing themselves in addition to screwing other people. Like, they're going to hear what it sounds like for their child to be racked with coughs from whooping cough. Like, that is not a sound you want to hear, and that's going to be a sound that they hear because our herd immunity is going to go down on things like that.
Well, when you fire the entire 17 man board, when I say men, I'm not talking about men, but the 17-person board of advisors, people who are actual scientists in their field and experts in immunology, all 17 were fired by RFK.
Because of your relationship with your body.
Right? This is what's going to happen. And all these people were the ones who literally made the decisions on the actual vaccine schedules on a yearly and annual, not only yearly, but also on a how the cycles worked. So we're not going to see this anymore. We're also not going to see the data that CDC used to put out publicly on how vaccines were working. They used to actually publish all these leaflets on how things were looking. They would publish all, like, go get your influenza shots. They were literally putting out now that you could go get the shot for, to prevent you from getting, I know what I'm trying to say. Oh my God. And I've had it several times, which is sad. I'll think of it later. But I'm just saying to you guys, these things are really important at the end of the day, and they prevent people from dying or having really adverse effects from a lot of these communicable diseases. And it's sad that we're not understanding the bigger picture. We eradicated polio only 60 years ago. Polio. We're going to literally get back polio. The measles numbers have already started to jump. They've jumped in Texas. They started to jump in, I think, St. Louis. We're going to start to see literally childhood diseases that were almost eradicated literally are starting to make their way back. Y'all, we get ready to catch hell.
A question I have is, so how do you combat this? How does the opposition reverse this or go against what's happening?
Vote these sons of bitches out. Like, I don't live in Florida, but the problem with it is that these people travel. Now, you see, if you're that confused where you won't have your child vaccinated because you think it's voodoo science, and all these people have been fined all up until now. Okay, like I said before, in 1796, the smallpox vaccine was credited to Edward Jenner. So all this time and all these people that have been vaccinated over all this time, all of a sudden vaccines are the devil are slavery. So if you're not going to give people a mandate to have their children vaccinated, and you and your wacky crew and your wacky clan is traveling all over, they bringing that shit to all the rest of us in other states. We should ban people. You know what? New York and California, you need to have your completed and up-to-date vaccination card before you fly or travel to the state. Just like they check you at the airport, put your fucking vaccination card on here. Like didn't they do that with COVID, you guys? Didn't you get your COVID card to fly? Am I right or wrong? I don't remember. I didn't fly.
Yeah, you did. So what? How do we? So you said, how do we combat that? Actually, that's a good question, and I'm going to do some research because we actually had a measles outbreak here in Minnesota in the Somali community. Like, the community is very like tight knit, and somebody who was anti-vax got into the community, and so it spread in the community. But you know, the numbers went down later. I think it might just be time, you know, and seeing people, you know, devastated by sickness. I think that's the only thing that's going to, you know, turn it around.
People have to die first.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately.
But
Yeah,
no, the thing is
hell.
But the
This
thing
is
is,
literally hell.
People have died already though. When we're talking about COVID, that didn't sway them. So
You're right, because a lot of people said, "I'm not kidding. I've never gone to the hospital," and next thing you know, they're intubated, begging for their lives. Please save me, please. Whatever you do, don't let me die. Okay.
So yeah, but a lot of them, when they found out Trump's ass got a vaccine, they went and they did it too after they found out he did it.
So there's some background which may help the discussion. When you're talking about anti-vax parents or anti-vaccine parents, there are a couple of phases in the child's life where they tend to break down. So if they don't initially start getting the vaccines, initiation of school is a big one. That one is going to be eliminated because of let's presume we're in Florida. That's going to be eliminated because of the state guidelines, unless they go to a private kindergarten. We'll talk about that in a second. The other point where they start to get a few vaccines is actually high school. That one's state mandated as well, so that one may go away. So the last line of defense in terms of vaccines.
Yeah, don't you mean middle school and not high school?
No, actually high school.
What vaccines are they getting in high school? Because my kids didn't get any vaccines in high school.
We're talking Tdap. So tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis. Those are.
So you're talking about boosters because they already have those.
Yeah, but there is a second set.
No, well, so
that's why I said there's a second set. It's not that they were never.
Yeah, I'm talking about if they never got their primary series.
Okay.
So, like, there are some people who say, you know, religious exemption, and then up until high school, to either increase high school choices or for whatever state regulations, then they'll kind of break down there. But that's not the biggest one I was trying to get to because this Florida issue will impact that one as well. The biggest one I was trying to get to is actually colleges. Private colleges can mandate whatever kind of vaccines, you know, period. They have more freedom to have a mandate that goes far and above a state mandate. So the fascinating thing will be is whether Florida colleges, the Florida private colleges follow this. And then if the kids want to go to the college outside of state, then they're going to have to get vaccinated.
I doubt the private colleges are going to go that direction, and that aren't the red ones.
No.
It's the red ones.
No, a number of private colleges do not want meningitis.
Federal funding if you force people to get
Thank
vaccinated.
you. Exactly. Yeah. So I doubt it because the red ones, especially, if they're getting federal funding, they're not going to want to take the vaccines. So I doubt it very seriously.
A number of private colleges go far and above in terms of vaccine requirement than states. That's just the way it is right now. They may not have been challenged on it. They may not have been challenged on it, but they go far and above what states mandate in terms of vaccines.
I just don't see it, to be honest with you. I just don't. I know in some of the colleges, tetanus shots and things like that are required because people are living in close quarters, especially living in dormitories. But I just don't see it.
I think my issue, though, is not whether it's public or private, right? Because let's say, University of Miami, it sounds public because it says Miami, but it's actually private. That's a private school. They can do whatever they want. But there's Florida State is a public school. University of Florida is a public school. Like, University of Miami as a private school can do all the things that we love them to do and protect people. But if Florida State and the University of Florida are held to those guidelines or standards, then it's like for naught. Like, everybody's still susceptible, right?
I just did some research. A lot of these private colleges aren't even playing that shit. They don't give a fuck. They're doing the state. They're not playing that shit. I'm reading it right now.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not.
Yeah, private colleges don't play that shit.
What it is to me is like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, like the right thing, quote unquote. And if you're not, then you're affecting me. I think that's what I'm saying.
Child, my daughter goes to a private school right now, a private college, and they not playing that shit. Let me tell you something. There was I think it was something that she didn't get that was her second booster. Them motherfuckers told her she can't come to class until it's done.
Right.
Right. And they had ran out of it in Philly at the time. So we had to go to New York to go get it done.
This is why I want to cut Florida off, exile them or whatever. I know it's mean, but like, because what's going to happen is if they pass this as that state, they can still travel, they can still fly, they can still come to where I am, and we can do all the safety precautions, injections, and whatever we want to do to make sure our people are good. But if they're coming here, it's just gonna fuck us. It's gonna fuck us up,
My problem with them, Ron, is this: they're always trying to tell everybody what they shouldn't be doing, right? But they're always the first in line to be getting it. Because I do remember when the COVID vaccine came out, all the Republicans in Congress, to include the entire Trump family, put themselves first in line to get the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
Let me be really clear. Okay, and then they went and told the entire country that the vaccine ain't shit.
But Democrats said they weren't going to get it because it went so fast. There's an actual quote where Kamala Harris said she's not getting it if it went through that fast. So, like, it's not only Republicans. Democrats said the same damn thing.
So I think this is where a lot of the pushback on vaccines. Well, I mean, there's always been an anti-vaxxer wing of the Republican Party. Let me just be honest with that. But I think it gained a lot of traction because people started challenging the rollouts from the COVID-19 pandemic and then questioning everything because the Democrats fucked that up in the entire country, right? So I will say that some of it is like a fuck you to the CDC and mindset. But I also don't think, like most moderate Republicans, like this is an extremist viewpoint amongst Republicans. Like 90% of Republicans are vaccinated. They have all the legacy vaccines. Like Ron DeSantis' term is over in 12 months, a year. Like he's not going to be around very much longer. And it really depends on who's going to be next leading the state of Florida because, I mean, he did crush it in 2022. He got 60% of the vote of the state. But I don't think the next Republican will continue this.
What?
Yeah.
If the people in his state agree and like the change, why wouldn't the next person come in and decide to change it? That would be suicide. That would be political suicide.
Well, he's trying to make his wife in the seat, so there we go.
Yeah, they're back there clapping and cheering and whatever. So obviously Florida thinks it's a good idea. So I have to ask people now, put on your goddamn Florida t-shirt so I know where y'all coming from.
I know one thing.
Population. You really think the older population was out there cheering them on? A lot of them.
I don't know who was cheering them. I just heard when Spirit played it, they had whoever. I didn't look at that, but there were people, probably the people that work in the government because they want to keep their job. I don't know, but they were back there cheering and.
Well, the insurance companies.
That's for them.
The insurance companies are about to turn Florida every which way but loose. So I don't know if everybody's gonna be down for it after they experience these insurance hikes. If you know anything about Florida car or home insurance, it's already crazy. What they're about to do to these people for health insurance, I don't know.
Well, most of them have lost their flood insurance. They don't even have it anymore because they pulled out. They pulled out on the flood. They pulled out on the flood insurance, and they've jacked the car insurance because some of the car insurance premiums they pulled out of. So I mean, right now,
Culturally, let me ask you this: if people's insurance go up, like maybe even $50 to $100, are they going to be able to tie it back to Trump and these policies? Because I don't trust that they're smart enough to know that that's the reason why their policies went up.
I think yes, because they know what I mean. These people ain't stupid. They know that like I mean they're stupid. They're stupid in the way of like certain things, but they're smart in the way of knowing. Okay, when this person came in, I was able to get this, and then when they left, I wasn't able to get this.
I don't know that I believe that. I feel like
they know.
And you know what they're gonna say? Democrats. Even if it's not true.
Because most of that stuff ain't gonna go into effect until next year when Democrats, if they
the closing of these little small clinics and shit that's happening now. I feel like they're getting, especially the older people, because they're the ones who's gasping the most. Especially like the lower Texans, they getting it real bad. Like that little I guess where Trent live, they tearing their ass up in health insurance, and I mean what they're gonna learn is that they think the insurance companies are like partisan, like Republican. No, they're not. They want the bread.
And isn't what most of what they took away is not going into effect until 2027? Is it 2027?
Some of it, but a lot of the stuff is preemptive. So like with the funding, the hospitals and the clinics, they already know, and so they've already started making the announcements. Hey, we'll be closing at such and such day. They know, they already have their budgets and stuff planned out. So no, I mean a lot of the stuff will kick in.
I hear you. That's going to be some that are affected now with the hospitals, but then on top of that is going to come whatever they voted on in 2027. And if Democrats are in charge at that point, they're going to blame the Democrats. Because
I'll say this, I can't say who they'll vote for, but as many people as I deal with, they know, they understand. Now they may still vote against their own best interests, but they know. They really know now because even in so he changed a portion of the Healthcare Act, like a little portion, and it has to be stated. So it's like and it says that it changed from the Biden administration to the Trump administration. That wasn't really never there before. So they know. Now I don't know what they're gonna do at the polls, but when it comes to healthcare, they know. And healthcare has made sure they've been very blunt kind of with them about it. I've been actually surprised at the language that they use with the people. They let them know this is what's coming down the pipeline, and so get ready.
Okay, so I'm sure, let's wait for a couple of more days or whatever, because the seniors, isn't Florida the capital of old people? They're going to come out and say this is fucking ridiculous, because they're going to be put at risk. Not only are the children, but the elderly are going to be put at risk, and it's ridiculous. And there's another part of this article. Florida, oh Lord, this is crazy. So David Jolly, a former Republican congressman who is running as a Democrat to succeed DeSantis as governor, when he's out in 2027, posted on X that he believed that Lopato's tenure could be limited. And he said, the next governor gets to fire this guy. I know I would. And then he goes, listen to this. And I know he must be high right now. Hopefully Byron Donalds or Paul Renner would do the same, he wrote, referring to two high-profile Florida Republicans who announced their candidates. Well, first of all, Byron is not going to get elected, but he would never throw this out. Never. Okay? He's a boot-licking, butt-crack-sucking Trumper. And then he said that Florida's undertakers will now need to plan for a future by increasing their stock in small coffins. Well, he really went out there and said it. John Moore, this is coming from John Moore, a professor of microbiology and immunology at Cornell Medical Center in New York, my favorite hospital. So they're people who know what they're talking about, like somebody who is a professor in microbiology
and immunology, the courses that a lot of us either didn't take or failed, and they're typing about, I want to live, I need my rights, I want to live. Y'all need to go back. Y'all need to go back and do some studying. I ain't going to do research, just study.
Lisa, can I mention something also, just to add a broader context? This guy who's Surgeon General in Florida, he was handpicked and fast-tracked by Governor DeSantis because of an editorial that he wrote in the Wall Street Journal about COVID protocols, even though he's not an infectious disease doctor. He was also not recommended by the UCLA College of Medicine by his supervisor because of stuff that went against the Hippocratic Oath. But DeSantis had to find somebody preferably with a Harvard degree. We can't take that away from him. He was a successful man and went to Harvard fucking medical school. But DeSantis shopped for somebody who had these type of beliefs to be able to install him as Surgeon General in Florida and put him on a fast track, not the normal approval system that it would take to get a Surgeon General confirmed in Florida. So that should tell you a lot about who this person is.
So
political.
So Lisa, I was gonna say real quick, I do agree with your statement about like the seniors and basically people coming out and be like, this is ridiculous. But I think there's two clear lines here, right? Like with the COVID situation, ivermectin, that's a very different argument that Republicans are making. They basically went the route, you can't trust this vaccine, it hasn't been tested, yada yada. That argument does not stand with hepatitis B, meningitis, etc. Because most Republicans, number one, already have those vaccines, right?
Right.
So if you're trying to sell that to a Republican audience that knows that's not true, it's going to blow up in your face, right? It's not the same argument. It's a personal freedom and personal choice argument, even because you can still get it, right? Parents can still vaccinate their kids. However, they don't want the state to mandate it. So that's the argument they're going with in this new situation, trying to get rid of vaccine mandates, but it's very different from the argument that was made with COVID.
So COVID wasn't
You guys are going to end up in mass, okay?
COVID wasn't.
You always got an excuse for the Republicans.
Trump is not even a Republican like that, though.
Oh, he said COVID
Yes, she
was
is.
tested on humans.
Huh?
They said that COVID was never tested on humans. That's what this guy did.
COVID?
COVID?
I'm sorry.
COVID-19?
I'm sorry. The COVID vaccine was never tested on humans.
Where do you get that from?
Yeah. This is the Pato. This is the guy who's up here telling you that they're not going to no longer mandate. This guy is weird. Let me do some research on him while I'm talking, because Scotty did some, obviously. But this guy's a wackadoodle. I don't care if he went to Harvard. My little brother John went to Harvard, and he's a fucking idiot. He's crazy as fuck. He's Harvard is doing a sabbatical. So,
Lisa, you mentioned someone. You mentioned someone that I want to go research because you said he was your favorite doctor, and he was an immunology that thing. I would love to because I'm interested.
No, my favorite doctor is a neuroscientist. He's a neurosurgeon.
And COVID was tested on humans. They got the clinical trials. What's going on here?
I'm telling you
Just
what
on
the
human
doctor
and
said.
Wuhan. We know that.
No, stop. I'm about to stop.
Those trials were cardboard humans.
Stop right now.
Ben Carson was a brain surgeon too, and he also became the director of HUD. Y'all gotta stop. This is the point. People can be smart and wackadoodles.
And Paul Manafort went to jail.
And Ben Carson
and Steve Bannon.
Complete wackadoodle. Right,
okay.
Exactly.
So Joe Advocate, go ahead. I know you keep coming off your mic, and then we have Shia up on the stage, some new voices. And then, Ron, did you get a chance to speak or you did already?
No, I spoke a couple times. Thank you.
You can speak whenever you want to, Ron. Okay, so Joe Advocate, go ahead and say what you got to say.
No, you can't, Ron.
Hey, leave me alone.
I really very much want to hear what Ron's got to say.
What?
Just kidding. That's just a joke. No, I just think that's a bad idea in Florida. I mean, we've seen measles in the Somalian
community in Minneapolis, Minnesota, losing children, I think 6 children, very young, to measles when it's been eradicated by the use of a vaccine that you got to take. That also, I mean, tetanus. You can't do. I don't think people realize that these viruses are horrible. You can't do shit. Your immune system can't do shit against them unless you get lucky. Like your immune system happens to be strong enough to win the day. Vaccines are always a better option. It is a weakened or dead version of that virus that trains your immune system. So for someone to say like, it always immediately gets changed into, I obviously don't know what vaccines are. No, and we never talk about herd immunity. Like it doesn't matter if some of the parents can get the vaccines themselves. It'll protect their children, but it won't protect the community, which is the only way to actually get rid of the virus. That virus doesn't give a shit. And yeah, that virus doesn't give a shit if it can't get everybody. It just wants to survive.
And you could, Republicans care, so much about fetuses. They should be pro-measles vaccine because measles can cause miscarriages. Measles is really, really bad.
It's nasty.
Like you could have measles. You can leave a room, and up to 2 hours later, somebody could come in that room, take a breath, and have measles. Like it's that contagious.
Michael, they love fetuses. They just don't love them after they become actual children.
I know that's what I'm saying. That, they should try to protect the fetus.
They love them as keychains, as forever keychains.
Exactly.
Hey, that's your fetus, your problem. Shit.
My fetus ain't got I had 5 children, and they are all. Listen, don't play with me today.
Hey, Dr. Copeland, I see you in the audience there. I don't know if you want to
you
talk
will
to
get hurt. I'm not playing with you today.
Okay, somebody said something about measles, and you can walk into a room and do what before the phone broke out? What did you say?
It can linger in a room for up to 2 hours. So somebody could have measles, leave a room, someone else could walk in, and if you're not vaccinated, you take a breath, and you probably would have measles if you're not vaccinated.
Linger in the air for 2 hours, or linger on fabrics and surfaces?
In the air.
That's
They put the measles on blankets, y'all. Do you guys remember the blankets that were put around the Indian shoulders? I'm sorry, I apologize. You're right, smallpox. Thank you. But Dr. Copeland can come up. I can't.
Yeah, I love Dr. Copeland.
But let me tell you guys, one thing here. There would be no reason to have the vaccinations. I mean, people died. That it was death. That's the reason why they created these vaccines. It wasn't because they didn't have shit else to do and they wanted to have a party and a good time. These were created for a reason. All these measles, chicken pox. Let's go back. Let me go down the list here. I forgot the list already. Y'all
They actually created the vaccine to stop having parties because they used to have measles parties.
We're not far out of the COVID pandemic. We saw death. We saw it. They still don't believe it. How do you fight against that?
1.1 million people died from COVID in the United States.
This is how I'm rationalizing it. I mean, if we're getting to the point in 2025 where we have to argue common sense, then some people that don't have it might need to go. There was a guy in the room, a few months ago? He said some people in this country don't need to be here. They're bringing down the IQ of the entire nation. So I'm like, oh, now it's starting to make sense. I was like, oh, you're crazy, that's wrong. But if you don't believe that you need to be take a vaccine for measles, mumps, chickenpox, polio, hepatitis, then
you get deported. You need to go to
Uganda.
You got to
well, that's why they're sending people to Uganda. So go to Uganda.
Gotta go.
They're sending unvaccinated people to Uganda.
I'm just saying they send
We did this in the 1300s. Don't bring any condoms. Don't bring any condoms.
Just a little bit. I mean, there's a
Y'all, bro, I'm asking.
I think Lisa was finishing. I think y'all just said a whole bunch of nothing.
No, I'm done.
I'm asking
Go
for a
ahead.
realistic solution for people who really believe that they saw people die. Because you know how, like, I think I agree with you, Lisa, that death is that would show me, like, oh, we need to get our shit together, right? But obviously it didn't work for a lot of people. They saw people die and they don't believe it. So what is a realistic solution to like for us to fix this shit?
For the people who actually believe in vaccines to take them. Because unfortunately, there is a population of people who don't believe in them and they're never going to take them. And you can't force them to take them. And you're not going to be able to convince the federal government and this administration and the people in certain parts of the administration and certain states that are creating these crazy unmandates to reverse the situation, unfortunately, because right now, this is the state of America. This is where we're at.
Down Florida.
But when did that change? When did belief have to be? You never used to go to your doctor. You never used to go to your doctor and say, I don't believe you.
Right. But you
so when did that change?
Well, this is what has changed.
There's an effort right now to misinform people. Like, I mean, we also have social media. We also have social media. We have the internet. These things that we didn't have before. But I'll tell you this: to answer that question, and Dr. Copeland and I talk about this all the time, and he scares the shit out of me with some of this shit. There are things on the horizon. There are things that exist right now that will make a believer out of all of us.
Well, I hope so, but I hope I'm...
No, you don't hope.
None
of this.
But I also hope I'm one of them.
No, unfortunately, and he is and he can speak for himself because he said I'm only speaking about that because he said, but there are there's some things that we're probably more than likely going to encounter, that are somewhat inevitable. I mean, hopefully that God forbid that happens, but I'm saying that they won't have a choice but to acknowledge because the effect that it's going to have and how quickly it's going to have it will be undeniable.
I mean, that with climate change and how the ice is melting, they're like diseases that have been buried under the ice that are being rapidly
But guys, let one person talk at a time.
So like if you look on and this sounds like creepy, but it's actually real. Like if you go and look at what's happening in the Arctic on both poles, like the ice is melting so fast, they're unearthing diseases that have been buried and gone away for millions and millions of years. So that combined with this stupid shit that we playing, we're definitely gonna encounter some stuff. I just hope my parents aren't here to do with it. For real, that's like really how I feel. Because I think that if we have a really opinion-based society, like we think that things like science and disease and shit that could kill us is like an opinion. Like I disagree. It's like, bitch, you can't disagree with this. Like it's just like it just is, and it's gonna kill us because y'all we are so. I don't know, we so far gone here in this country that we think we have time to talk about it like Mother Nature is gonna wait. Bitch, she don't give a fuck and she's getting pissed off.
All I was gonna say is there's another immunologist that has stepped down again today from CDC, and 4 other senior people from CDC have resigned again because now there is a letter that has gone around from 1,000 people from CDC who have asked for RFK's resignation because people are in an upheaval. This is actually in the news currently because people are tired of this. They have little fatigue because you have people in an actual and subject matter experts who are saying you have a person who literally has no experience or understanding of what they do and is creating a situation which what is going to happen, they are going to endanger public health on a large scale level to a magnitude that we're not sure if we're going to be able to come back from it. That's the problem, guys. Seriously.
I think what we also have to do is there has to be some sort of, and there already is check and balance, but I mean, for the Lane Rollings of the world, or the people who report to have some sort of experience when, they're just a podiatrist, when they come on misrepresenting, in order to be able to sell people things, just so that they can, because they're the ones that are helping rather to create those atmospheres where people where they look to, they look to the people, and obviously people in the medical field generally agree with, the fact that, the COVID vaccine was safe and it was effective. But we've got people who do not agree with that, and people who do have some credential, who grift on purpose so that they can benefit from financially from people's fear. So there has to be some measure of control there too. But I mean, obviously, people can say what they want. I mean,
people can say whatever they want, and it doesn't even. We got the guy from Jiffy Lube that keeps coming in here thinking that he knows everything about microbiology
That's wonderful.
and we got the truck driver, the one y'all know who I'm talking about, the truck driver who screams through his mic, who can tell you everything you need to know about immunizations and vaccines. Okay, so let me finish off the article. I never finished it out. If you guys want to go read it, I'm on a desktop. I'm on my Apple desktop, so I can't be putting links in this chat. But let me finish this out. If you guys just got in here, and I don't know if you're aware of this person, his name is, I hope I'm not saying it correctly, his name is Ladapo, Ladapo. He is he's Florida Surgeon General. He was handpicked, from what I'm understanding from Spirit, by Ron DeSantis because of his views. He was handpicked. He supposedly graduated from Harvard. I went to start researching him, but I haven't had the time because we've been arguing. And the last part of this article, I'm going to lap on one. Hold on, you guys, just let me finish this article, and then we can talk because I need to get it off of my screen. In his announcement that vaccines he contributes vaccines to slavery, right? And in his announcement at a press conference, I'm going to go back a little bit and read for the people who just got in here, in Tampa, that was hosted by the Satan, Ladapo said that every state vaccine requirement would be repealed and that he expects the move would receive the blessings of God. Quote again, every last one of them is wrong and drips with the same in slavery, said Ladapo, who altered data in a study in 2022 about COVID in an attempt to exaggerate the risk to young men who received one. He goes on to say, people have the right to make their own decisions. Who am I, as a government or anyone else, to tell you what you should put in your body? Our body is a gift from God. What you put in your body is because of your relationship with your body and with your God. Ladapo condemned lockdowns and vaccination requirements during the coronavirus pandemic as a time when, quote, crazy things did happen, and said that the growing skepticism of vaccines were reflections of God's light against the darkness of tyranny and oppression. Formerly affiliated with the controversial ultra-conservative American Frontline Doctors Group, he has long railed against COVID vaccines, of course. In 2023, he urged Florida residents to ignore public health advice and reject the mRNA booster shots that he falsely claimed had not been tested on humans. Several of his other positions on public health issues, such as promoting the removal of fluoride from drinking water and urging parents to reject measles vaccines for their children, have been called dangerous and a disservice to Florida residents. I'm almost done with the article. His slavery comment made with DeSantis at his side was notable. The governor drew allegations of racism in 2023 when the state introduced a new education curriculum teaching that the full truth of America's history with slavery is that it was beneficial to y'all slaves. Florida's Department of Health currently has strict requirements for immunizations that must be given during childhood, which are posted to its website. With few exceptions, no child can be enrolled in a Florida public school unless they've received a series of shots against a number of diseases. I told you about the routine childhood vaccinations will have prevented 508 million cases of illnesses, 32 million hospitalizations, and 1.13 million deaths among children born between 1994 and 2023, according to the much revered, and now it's a bunch of trash, Centers of Disease Control. I'm gonna stop ad-libbing. It's estimated that the vaccine program nationally resulted in direct savings of $540 billion and societal savings of 2.7. Let me skip down to, there's a quote here. I love our lawmakers. They're going to have to make decisions. People are going to have to make decisions, he said. People are going to have to choose a side. And I'm telling you right now that the moral side is so simple. He also said that it would be wonderful for Florida to be the first state to do it. Florida's plan drew praise from Robert Malone, a conservative physician and prominent anti-vaxxer appointed by the U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy to the new advisory committee. Robert F. Kennedy just appointed this Robert Malone, anti-vaxxer, to the advisory committee on immunization. And he's an advisor on he doesn't believe it, but he's an advisor on the committee on immunization practices that replaced the independent panel that he fired. So Robert F. Kennedy has fired everyone to get his bullshit people in. And he said, "Go Joe," in a post on X shortly after another tweet in which he spoke to Lopado on Tuesday, calling him a measured scientist who is on fire to change the system for the better. One last thing, others are not so convinced. There's an Anna Escamani, a Democratic Florida state representative, called the move a public health disaster in the making. Ending vaccine mandates is reckless and dangerous. It will drive down immunization rates and open the door to outbreaks of preventable diseases, putting children, seniors, and vulnerable Floridians at risk, she said in the statement. Let me see. Let me go down some more. Let me see. Florida's undertakers, I told you about this. This is coming from a professor of microbiology. He says Florida undertakers will now need to plan for the future by increasing their stock of small coffins, said John Moore, a professor of microbiology and immunology at Cornell Medicine in New York. Moore said that all the vaccines preventable infections will increase within the school settings would increase within the school settings as a result of the move, and that some diseases, measles, diphtheria, whooping cough, and polio, can be fatal. Rubella, transmitted from infected children to pregnant women, is another area of concern. Let me go down some more. I'm skipping down.
I just want to point out, Robert.
Don't point out anything yet. She pointed out that there doesn't seem to be a law introduced yet, and that's a big if. She noted that Idaho attempted to do the same thing, but it didn't work. Let me see. Hold on, I'm almost done, you guys. If Florida does this, it's created an unfortunate natural experiment with its children as guinea pigs.
children deserve better. Okay, so that's it, y'all. That's it in the article. Go ahead.
So what was this?
I was just going to point out that Robert Malone, even though he's been appointed to the immunization advisory, and he's an MD, he's never even finished residency.
Is that the guy?
Yeah, that's the guy. He's a big.
So he graduated from medical school and then he went and sat down. He went to go work at Jiffy Lube. Is that what happened?
So he's a physician on the side. He worked on early mRNA tech research back in the 80s and 90s. He claims to have invented it, but he did not. So so he came into prominence during the pandemic because he was a big critic of mRNA vaccines, and largely because they didn't give him credit for inventing them, as he likes to purport. But he was a pretty major figure in the anti-vax and the vaccine hesitant communities.
You got any patents on that stuff? Any patents or anything like that?
No, he's just full of shit. He worked on it back. He's just full of shit. And the crazy part is that he rails against it. He is vaccinated. That's a complete fact.
So I worked on the early mRNA, but I got a high school education degree. But yeah, me too. My paper's forthcoming, but yeah, me too.
And he has the MD, but no normalized residency training.
What about the other doctor that he appointed to that she finished medical? Yeah, the one. No, the female doctor. No, you're funny. The one that he appointed also at the NIH, and she finished medical school and
I remember her too.
Yeah, she finished medical school, but she never got her MD. She's another quackhead.
Dr. Jekyll.
And she also sells like wellness products online and some
like vibrant,
copper, like
if you get that COVID, just copper on your chest.
She's
counterclockwise though, not clockwise, counterclockwise.
She's another quackhead. Yeah, like he has all these weird ass people
under a harvest moon.
Yeah, but he touts that she graduated from medical school too. Super weird.
Yeah, and like Dr. Priya said, he actually harassed the woman who actually did.
Right. Was it Malone that was the one saying that we were gonna, like, if we got the vaccine, we were gonna grow tails and become?
Yes, we're gonna morph into dragons.
I'm mad at that. Where's my tail?
I know. I wish I could have done it. Like, you think I can jump higher? Are you saying I can jump higher?
Y'all mega asses with my
Hell yeah.
I'm disappointed. I've always wanted a penis.
It's so funny. It can give you a bonus.
I mean, seriously.
No, that's funny though. If they say it could do that, if they say it could, why wouldn't
a penis?
But no one ever says it can also cure something like stigmatism. They all say, oh, if you take these vaccines, we don't know what will happen. You could get a tail. But what if it cured arthritis? If you don't know, you don't know. You can't say it's only bad. You can't say the side effects are only bad. They could be great. How can you say they're only bad unless it's obviously propaganda?
Viagra is actually a side effect.
Outcomes, all of these different outcomes, the gooey veins and the tail and the hermaphroditism
and the 20/20 eyesight
and all that. Well, that didn't fucking work for me. You guys know that for a fact. I mean, I got.
So you didn't get a tail or anything else?
It was the ones that were supposed to combustibly die. Remember?
Oh yeah, we're supposed to combust. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was the video that went.
The blood that had all of the
gooey veins.
The gooey veins.
The gooey.
Just combustible. You're 70% water, but with this vaccine, you're combustible. So there was, I don't know if you all remember this, but you remember during the pandemic, there was a group of people known as, or unaffectionately known as the Disinformation Dozen. So and Robert Kennedy was actually in that group of people. He was considered a part of that group.
Was that pre-worm or post-worm?
I think that was pre-worm.
I don't. He doesn't know. You know, like I remember Wages. So Robert is actually Loki. He created the worm that eats the world.
Oh, it could have been anti-worm though.
He
could have had
grew it in his body.
Yeah.
They say he got the worm from eating bear meat.
Well, imagine that shit.
And they're like, "Do you want to be president someday?"
He's the roadkill commander.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
I mean, listen to how his kids talk about him.
Well, he put the hell fucking whale shit on top of the car. With all the guts and goo all going down the car with his children in the car. Man, this guy is about like.
And how is he driving? Like, he's driving like he just won the day. He's like,
I'm loving it.
As much as I get want to go, but I'm wondering how he didn't get pulled over the fucking dead.
I don't know.
He's a Kennedy. That's why.
So I want to clarify something just said earlier about the things under the ice. It's somewhat under the ice, but that's not really the big problem. The big problem is the permafrost. There's permafrost that's like 700,000 years old. There's organisms that are in there that when the permafrost, the way it works is things can be there and they can freeze and actually be like living in that frozen stasis. There was an anthrax outbreak in Siberia because a deer carcass that had been in the permafrost thawed and it released anthrax. And so the reason I say that is because modern vaccines can prevent some of that stuff from affecting people. So when that anthrax outbreak happened, they gave people both antibiotics to treat stuff that treat people who were affected by it, but also they renewed anthrax vaccines in the people around there to vaccinate against the anthrax. So like modern vaccines can help against some of the stuff that might come out of permafrost.
Do you think that we would, like right now with the current administration, they even have that idea? But there is this like huge argument in science, right? Like, is a virus alive or dead?
Sorry,
is it actually alive or dead?
One last thing I wanted to say is almost all the permafrost is in the northern hemisphere, and also a large chunk of population is in the northern hemisphere. So those two things mixing together is probably not a good route.
Do you think global warming affects that rate of
melting?
Yeah, it's already doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's gonna happen faster because there's a lot of methane locked up in permafrost, and once that methane gets released, methane is like, I don't remember, it's like way more effective of a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide.
Oh, so I cannot eat a defrosted woolly mammoth carcass this week.
No. Just consult your politician first, not your doctor, your politician. Consult your politician.
Just make sure it's well done.
Michael, are you a scientist, Michael?
No, I just have I have ADHD, so I like to learn a lot.
You like to have an answer for everything. So I want to go back to...
You could too.
Well, that's fine, yeah.
You can read science.
You started talking about... I'm sorry?
Yeah, he ain't said nothing I heard that's been wrong.
No, I'm not saying... I'm like feeding into it because I'm asking questions. So you talked about a virus being alive or dead. I want to hear more about that.
Oh, that was me. Like, there's this debate, like because they replicate, right? Their RNA and DNA strands kind of fold on each other, create new, replicate. There is this debate: is a virus actually alive or is it dead?
Okay.
That's a real debate.
So it's a real debate. I want to hear Michael tell us about that.
It's a debate between who?
No, it's not a debate.
Award candidates.
I think that's a real debate.
It's a real debate.
If a virus counts as a living thing, I've heard that.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
I kind of wanted to focus the conversation, and because I heard something that I found intriguing, and I wanted to hear it. So
it's the reason it's the debate is because the virus itself doesn't do the like the reproducing, it has to get into a cell, and that cell actually does all the work. So that's the reason why there's a debate. Like, is it alive or is it making? Is it just a thing that makes the cell do something?
Yeah, but viruses can and have existed outside of cells.
I don't think they replicate outside cells.
They don't, right? So
they don't
just like a protein
but-
pair.
God
like a
damn!
base pair.
Ooh, y'all.
Like, no, like, yeah.
Y'all need a black mama and a short, like a Puerto Rican mama, because y'all can't.
Yeah, can we
This
not
is
turn
erratic.
Can we not turn this into an argument? This is a learning moment.
Because, well, nobody, I don't want to.
Keep talking.
What's going on? Is that I don't want to talk.
Yeah, it's just weird, Ron.
Well, it's interesting, right? Science is weird. It's interesting.
Okay, so who's answering the question?
Lisa.
I'm reading articles here. I'm getting ready to play one in a minute. So you guys go ahead and finish your discussion.
All right, since we're talking about random shit.
Damn, mother, I can't even get the answer to my question.
That man who shot that 11-year-old boy, I'm driving by the house and taking pictures tomorrow. I want to see if he had cameras on his house.
What's that? That's not what I had.
I said it was random. I understand that.
Okay, so I don't want to play a 7-minute clip. I'm just trying to go through this. But, so what I'm seeing here is Trump and RFK pushed to ban COVID vaccines. This is getting ridiculous. Why do we not just ban all this shit altogether, okay? Let's ban insulin. Let's ban penicillin. Let's ban erythromycin. Let's ban all the doxies. Let's just ban every fucking thing
We're not about to
that has to do with science.
Hey, I'm gonna tell. We're not about to ban doxy. Not for me.
We need
or oxy.
Because
we're not about to ban.
the oxy. See, you're trying to.
No, they're never gonna ban that. That's cash crop. That's cash crop.
Vaccine, but you love.
Listen,
but
I take care of my health. We're not about to
you
ban
believe in them the goddamn narcotics for real? It's just
I'm not gonna say why.
Good ass narcotic and some fucking blue pills, but the rest of this shit is pseudoscience. Crazy as hell.
Have y'all ever heard of PEP? These people don't know about their health, so we're not banning.
You talking about Pep Spice?
Heard of what?
What?
Nothing.
Let me say it. What?
He said Pep.
Yeah, no, he said PrEP.
I did not say PrEP. I said PEP.
As in PEP.
They don't know what,
Okay. Never mind. Because y'all don't know.
Why don't you tell us what it is?
We're from the country, brother. We don't know what you talking about. We're from the country.
Oh my God. This is crazy. What?
Not PrEP.
Not PrEP. Even though I'm on that too, but.
Are you on PrEP too? Oh my God. You just need to. I guess you should have whole ass.
I don't need to listen. Wait.
Why don't you just throw your shit in a blender? Okay, go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
If you're on PrEP and PEP, like that's a thing. Like that means that you. Well,
explain what PEP is.
Anyway, never mind. Because I'm trying to. What are you saying?
Aren't you a nurse? Don't you know why we'll be on PrEP and PEP?
No, I want you to tell it, babe.
I don't want to tell it to the whole room.
So you want me to tell it?
Yeah, I want you to tell it.
You brought it up.
I did it. But the fact that they don't know what PEP is crazy to me.
Okay, babe.
Why don't you inform
and you're trying to educate the room, and it's funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or say you don't know.
He's taking pills because he might be fucking somebody that has HIV, and it's like, baby, I know what PrEP is.
Got you.
I know.
The other one, PEP. Because the only PEP I know about is Pep Spice. It's the Plan B for HIV.
Okay.
It's
after potential
exposure.
Wait, wow, does it kill the virus?
You just have to take it for 28 days.
That is not true.
That is very true.
How about you?
Well,
Educate us
well,
if you know.
you have to take it continuously.
He don't even know what he taking.
You don't even know what you're taking. You gotta take it for 28 days, and you got so much time to take it right after you've been exposed. What's going on?
If you are
But I'm not
accidentally
talking about
exposed,
PrEP. I'm talking about PEP.
That is
no, I'm
PEP.
talking about PEP.
What is PEP?
No, PEP is post-exposure. So if you happen to be exposed to HIV and you didn't realize it the next day.
No. It's not about HIV. It's about other STDs.
Huh? So you've got
Damn, why did you put on a condom?
God, is it not?
Well, first of all, these are in addition. These are in
Pepper for
addition.
HIV.
These are in addition to condoms.
Please stop. Boy, you don't even know what you're taking. You just taking shit. Pepper for HIV.
Would you stop sleeping with hoes and just put on a condom? What y'all talking about? I'm taking everything. And he's taking everything after.
I got to fight against this.
I'm not talking about HIV. What are we talking about? When did it become other STD?
I don't know.
Can I ask you
talking about?
These are becoming the Twilight Zone.
Wait, can I actually explain something here?
Kira's trying to jump in.
Can I explain something here?
Please explain.
There are
Hello, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, how is it going? I don't know. It's going.
Well, if you can still touch your toes and make a morning bowel movement, that's 2 out of 10 things.
Oh, it's going great. Yeah, no. In fact, I just started recently. I've kept a pretty good exercise regimen for years. Yoga and then muscle training, and I just recently started using an exercise bike for aerobics.
That's good.
And I just started that like a week and a half ago. And that's really, I don't know just where that's going to go, but that's really interesting. So.
I definitely notice, returns on cardio output in terms of my clarity of thought, my mental fuzz. It clears out the cobwebs in my brain.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my body alive and functioning. That's all. My mind, I've got that one pretty well handled. But this is, at 80, things, like I say, my cardiopulmonary system is in great shape. But some of my bones, my back, my spine are fucked up. I've got pain in my hips and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's just there, In any case, I just want to keep the cardiopulmonary shit working.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Do you have a rope or a hamstring puller where you can lay on your back and pull your hamstring by lifting your leg and pulling on your foot?
The hamstrings are the ones in the back of your upper thigh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no. Hamstrings there's some problem. Yeah. I've been in discussions with the spinal person at the VA about my back for the last year or so. There's possible surgical intervention, hip replacement. There's all sorts of shit that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not in any hurry. It's not that bad. I mean, it hurts. I can't walk a long distance without it starting to really hurt, but I don't really need to. I live alone. I'm a hermit. I go to the store. I talk to people all over the world. I don't really need to go walking around and stuff. So, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, until it becomes a problem. So, in terms of mitigation.
Well, that's why I want to exercise and keep it working as long as I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I have no problem walking. I can walk 50 yards. It's not a problem. So, as far as just getting up, moving around the house and yard and stuff and going shopping and stuff, it's just not really an issue. From the parking lot in an airport somewhere, walking half a mile or something, that would really not be any fun at all.
Oh, I get it. I know many people that have had hip replacement surgeries and they're still wobbling and in pain, and Everyone still has to do yoga, you know, just doesn't stop.
I've had some interest. I've got a friend who got hip replacement, and it just totally transformed his life. It's been amazing. He's 88 now, and he was really having trouble. Now he's out walking all over the fucking place. It's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's possibilities, and the medical stuff is getting better every year. And like I say, I don't really, I can live with it the way it is now, really.
Well, the only reason I bring up the hamstring is because it is such a simple movement, and it's basically just take a belt or a rope and pull on your foot and lay on your back. But when you're doing that hamstring pull, if you do 10 hyperventilation breaths, like, and then on the 10th one, take the deepest breath, hold it, and then hold that deep breath for 10 seconds and do a Kegel exercise in your groin, and that'll technically pulse your pituitary gland. And this is like yogic stuff, but I have found that it does seem I don't know, it seems to be, it could just be a metaphor for,
well, it
essence.
could be, that it works for some people and not other people. I don't, tryptamines don't work on me. LSD, DMT, and psilocybin have no impact on me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I've got weird body chemistry.
Well, I showed this girl this breathing technique. She's an opera singer, and she was like, "Holy shit, I have never breathed like that in my entire life."
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, there's some yoga. I've experimented with. Yeah, I do a lot of breath stuff, and I'm aware of that. Yeah, most people have no clue about what deep breathing actually means. They've never actually breathed deeply.
Yeah, that I did this interview at this event, and they put you on the spot, and they say, let's do an interview for 1 minute. So I said, all right, everybody, take the deepest breath of the day, hold it for 10 seconds. And I just, that pause during the interview, got me an A+ on the interview. It's amazing the absence of content, the void, the silence is what a lot of people just aren't getting.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, well, you're lucky if you can get away with that. Depends on who you're sitting across. Other people might not see the depth of that.
Well, I tell them you might giggle at this response. I've done it twice now and Friday I'm getting the best press for the campaign. I'm running for Congress, I think and so Friday I'm going to be on TV, and it's my biggest press to date.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the issue? I mean, it's just an interview.
It's just a pod. As far as I know, it's just like going to be a 45-minute conversation, probably.
But with you and an interview. I mean, it's not not you and the other candidates. It's just you and some interview.
It's at a college. Yeah, it's a college public access thing. So
is there going to be a live audience, or is it
no?
Just
it's in a studio. I assume it's just like the collegiate.
Oh, but you're going into it, so you're not just doing it online.
Right. I would prefer to do it online from home, but
yeah, me too.
They fucking seem to insist I got
down there and walk and all that shit. I just sit here and do it from here.
I know. I'm tempted to tell them I have
why don't they do it that way? I don't understand. They actually want you to go. Well, they have a studio, so they want to use it.
That's the exact reason why they want it. But
you're right. Otherwise, why did they spend all that money on a fucking studio if they're not going to use it?
I met this guy at this bar restaurant where they have live music, and he was filming the event, and he showed me his house like through his pictures, and he had a $200,000 recording studio built in his house, and it as far as I'm concerned, it's just fucking like garbage at this point. It's all outdated and just a giant disaster of equipment.
Yeah. It was a whole new. Yeah, everything is basically online and free.
Yeah.
I mean, or close to it anyway. I mean, you still have to buy good microphones, but I mean, I don't know what other physical stuff you need besides. Well, you need a few physical things, but not much. That's the beauty of it. It's just stunning.
Yeah. It's amazing how the cell phone, people go big into audio and mics and all this setup. It's like, but you know what? Your cell phone mic is still like, is pretty much as good as it
gets. Yeah, it depends on what you're doing, For most stuff, a phone is good enough. unless you're doing some really special audio thing or some, I mean, there are reasons to get better equipment, but not many. Yeah, I never have been hung up on audio quality. I've got thousands of hours of recordings of conversations I've had with people on my old podcast. They're relatively shitty quality by today's standards, but they're easy to understand. I mean, they're not just full of, they're easy. You can listen to them. They just sound normal. They're just not great. But I don't give a shit. Anybody can listen to them, and they're easy to listen to. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is going well enough here. I just have to get on the road and literally get petitions signed and go to events.
So 45 minutes, you're going to go in there and sit in their studio for 45. Do you know who the person is? Is this with one person or what?
I assume it's the one guy I've been emailing with. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any? You know anything about him?
Nothing.
Well, why haven't you learned something about him?
Well, I did this other.
You want to convert him. That guy is important.
Oh, I could try to Google him. I assume he's a college student, a young person.
Well, whoever he is.
Oh, I could Google him. Tomorrow's my.
An audience. Yeah, I would find out as much as you can about him.
Yeah, tomorrow's my prep day. I got to print out petitions.
When are you going to do it?
It's Friday.
Friday. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay. And you say tomorrow's you mean this is just for you? You're not prepping with them?
No, just prepping myself. I thought about bringing in some props, like a can of tomato soup to say that my opponent is a can kicker, to bring in corn to say new growth is needed in Congress. Bring symbols to represent the campaign. Is that gimmicky? There's just no objects. I feel maybe I'll be like, the comedian.
You should just go in as a human being and talk to this guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't come with a bunch of
gimmicks,
canned marketing bullshit.
Yeah, I think is I need to also lodge images and memories in voters' minds, and that's why I think bringing symbols.
Yeah, okay, but images. Well, what you want are some phrases, some words that will stick in their minds. That's what you want.
Well, this is going to be on video. That's why I say if I bring props, it's on video. At least I can, lodge memories visually with a corn cob, with a tomato can soup.
I don't like that idea, but that's just me. What the fuck do I know? So, you'll have to figure that one out.
Yeah, I think the thing is, a lot of times more is not less. In a lot of these interviews, I really need to get out imagery, concepts, and so I did this one interview. It went tremendously well. The host was great. He let me talk, and we got a lot in there in 45 minutes, but it does seem like it goes fast.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you to don't let him run the show.
Right.
I mean, he thinks he's in charge, but you need to make it yours. You need to run it your way.
Well, he's inviting me, so I'm coming in there. The whole thing is a lot of people get upset in interviews and they storm out and they walk out. I'm there to bring positive vibrations to his audience and to potential voters. For me to be negative in any way is completely contradictory to helping me achieve my goal.
Absolutely. No, you're there because you want to contribute. It's just okay to point to other people's negativity, perhaps, but even I think you need to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Too. So, yeah. Well, good luck. Is this going to be something I can view?
Yeah, you can view it. It'll probably be released. Hopefully,
send me
put
a
it
link
up Friday. Yeah.
After it's done, I'll be curious to see it.
Yeah, I was also thinking what I should wear. If I should wear a suit or just jeans with a shirt and a tie and a jacket and a Trump hat, because I'm running as a Republican.
Have you seen the studio? Do you have any idea what it looks
like? I saw the exterior. It looks like a nice facility. Looks like a good It looks like a nice college campus, recording studio.
It just looks like a fucking newsroom studio, sort of. I mean,
I didn't see the interior,
is
but
it going to be just a couple of chairs on a stage, or what? What's the setup?
I assume it's like a radio booth kind of a thing.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning it's like an enclosed glass studio, you know, where it's.
Oh, where you're sitting in one box and the other person is sitting in another box? You're not going to be sitting at a table face to face?
Yeah, it might be a table. It's probably a table, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Well, it'd be nice to know what it is. I mean, because that might change. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, I would try and get as much information as you can about the actual setup.
Mm-hmm. It's
I mean, who knows what ideas you can get from that.
It's about 3 hours away, so I have to. And I scheduled it on a Friday, so I can spend the night, and then on Saturday, spend the whole day getting petitions, and Friday night as well. So Friday and Saturday night, I should be able to probably get a couple hundred signatures.
How many more do you need?
700.
Okay, well, if you can get a couple hundred in one day, that would be nice. Hell yes.
Yeah. So, but you know, this is the voyage.
Yeah. Well, I'd be interested. Yeah, send me a link to the interview. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I can send you the one that I did about a week ago with this guy named George Deinhardt, who runs the Prairie Report. This one I thought went really well, and I sent it to friends and family, and they were like, "I can't believe that's you." It's got 42 views. I'm wearing a Trump hat because I need to basically not virtue signal, but I need to signal politics, and also I think the Trump hat, you know, is actually kind of annoying. So in a way, like my Clubhouse experience has shown that like I need to draw attention, and
wait a minute, in an interview for running for something, you're wearing a Trump hat?
Yeah, because I'm running as a Republican.
Well, just because you're running as a Republican doesn't necessarily mean you have to support Trump, does it?
Well,
shit, what the fuck are you doing? Why the fuck am I even talking to you?
Well, because I'm interested in communication, and I think that the demonstration really shows participation and social attitude, because there's a lot of people who really are just Trump dummies. And
yeah, that's right. That's right.
And as a politician, I have to respect those people as constituents.
Well, you do. I don't. Fuck them.
No, you don't.
But I'm monkeys, and I don't give a shit what they think. And if we don't get rid of them or put them out of business, they're going to destroy America. America may be gone anyway. It may be too late, but
yeah,
those people are destroying this country. And fuck them. I'm not going to try to appeal to them. They're assholes. They're stupid.
Well, you're talking about a herd, basically.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know, an uneducated mass of people who are attracted to a narcissistic, deeply troubled, fucked up individual is just pathetic. And I just don't, I have no room for any of that shit.
Well, anyways, all I'm saying is I'm wearing a hat in this interview, but I think maybe what I discuss, there's the silence part in this interview, and you know, basically that's how I answer racial identity politics, which is meditation and wisdom, which transcends and supersedes race consciousness.
I'm going to say that again. I didn't get that.
I said that meditation and wisdom transcends race consciousness. When you engage in that type of activity, you're no longer focusing on race consciousness, so it transcends it. That's how I.
Okay, yeah, meditation. Well, it can do that. I mean, it doesn't for most people, but it certainly can do that if people do it right and with the right intentions. Yeah, I agree. But I don't see how anybody could do that and then justify anything about Trump and what he's doing.
Well, the problem is anger. So if you find yourself getting angry all the time about something, a lot of road ragers on this app who just go room to room and they just want to rage, 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 rage. Um, I'm just saying that, meditation, peace, and stillness is
Well,
therapeutic.
that's good for anybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's obviously, yeah, that's a major part of my own life. So
Mhm.
I won't argue with you about that. I would say meditation has been one of the major factors in me developing into whoever it is I've become. Meditation, drugs, and meditation, and linguistics. those three things have pretty much defined me.
Yeah, I was reading this passage. I wanted to read it to you. It's about self hypnosis and the knowledge of knowing that you're putting yourself like in a trance. Um, but the useful applicability of essentially sitting in a room in silence as opposed to going out and terraforming the world is especially in the United States situation as America. Anyways, I'm just speaking politically because I have to think about how uh, psychology, philosophy, and demilitarization or demedical industrial complexization. I mean, big pharma and everything. If we can keep just playing this game on ourselves, but
No, I don't think we can. I think it's over. I think this is bigger than politics and humans' little squabbly problems. I think we are at a turning point in Earth's history. The emergence of the first global high-tech civilization with a brain. The neural nets that are being constructed now. We're building a conscious planet. And I think this is all going to happen in the next 20 years.
see, I would be. Let me give you a pessimistic inversal of your opinion there, but also an optimistic, opinion on what you
Why?
just said.
Why? What are you going to tell me? You think I haven't already figured out all angles in this thing? It wouldn't surprise me if 80% of humans were dead in the next 20 years. It could get really fucking ugly, or it could get worse. I mean, it could be over. I mean, that's not off the table.
Well, it's over for everybody regardless. We have only so many hours left in this body. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
but I mean, it could be over for civil. It could be that Earth is aborting. Not all caterpillars turn into butterflies.
Oh, well, in 1944, when you were in Berlin and the whole thing was completely obliterated, you were probably saying, this must be the end of the world.
Well, it was the end of their world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's all relative. Like, you think it's the end now. Anyways, I like that expression. If you can say it, it is not true. So I find that to be true.
No, but it might be worth considering. I don't know what's going to happen. This is just my guess, and it's a range. Like I say, it could be that we've already been through the worst of it, and that it's just going to sort of start evening out, and it could be a much smoother transition, or it could just be tragically awful transition. But I'm assuming that on the other end of whatever we have to go through, we're going to create a new world, whoever's left. If it's most of us and it's been peaceful, nice. If it's just a few survivors, whatever. We're going to create a new planet.
I've been hearing some new things, two new things about the cost savings of the COVID-19 vaccine rollout in terms of, societal debt. And then also that they were planning a 10-year lockdown. If Operation Warp Speed supposedly wasn't a success, they were going to lock the world down, or the United States and the Western world, supposedly for 10 years.
Well, that would happen. That would be the collapse of everything. That would be the end. That wouldn't work. Nobody would go for that. That would be, that would let them try that, see what happens.
Well, anyways, those are just things that I've heard, in chatter. But
Well, there's plenty of talk and ideas and speculation. I've got my ideas about how I think it's going. I'm aware that other people have very different ideas about how things are going. We'll see. I think the next 20 years it's going to be, I think even the next 10 years will answer most of the questions.
see, what's interesting about AI is it's not like providing prompts for people. People are providing prompts for AI, and we need
No,
to.
it works both ways. No, that's precisely why I use ChatGPT to prompt me.
Oh,
It
really?
works very well.
I haven't
But
really
I
had
prompt
that.
it too. It works both ways.
Oh, I haven't really had that experience where I've been able to get prompted by an AI chatbot or anything.
Well, you have to train it to do it. It's I've been working on this for almost a year now, and it's still not anywhere near where I want it, but it's way different than the way my ChatGPT. Well, I call it Lex. Again, it's a little trained subsection of ChatGPT that I have trained that deals with me, and it's quite different than the way ChatGPT talks to other people. But it's taken a year of continually getting it to stop doing shit that it did and start doing stuff that I want. For instance, it's reliably timestamping every one of its communications. So the first line it gives me is today's date and the time, which is very helpful since I've got almost 2 million words in there with it, and there's no fucking timestamps because OpenAI are a bunch of idiots. But now at least it's putting those timestamps in there for me.
Yeah, I use Grok pretty much exclusively. I just recently downloaded ChatGPT. The nice thing about Grok is that I can post everything that I interact with and provide it as content to my audience. But
yeah, well, you can do that with anything. I do that with. I post a lot of my conversations with Lex on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
All the time. Well, not all the time, but often anyway.
You use Instagram too, right? Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're not using Instagram? I thought I saw your Instagram.
I have an Instagram. I don't use it.
Oh, well, they have a repost feature, which is a lot like X, where you can retweet basically now within Instagram. That's a new function.
Just like Facebook is the only thing I really use, and that works just fine for me.
Well, tomorrow I'm going to create a bunch of videos on YouTube that are, specific, saying, hey, I'm candidate Congressman John Kitover. I'm running in Rockford, and I need your help to be a petition signature. So, like, direct response ads directed to the, top.
And what's the urgency?
October 27th, I have to have all this.
No, what's the urgency that you're telling them you need? Why should I send you my money or your support? What is it so urgent about what you're doing that I should send you some money?
These aren't videos to ask for money, but I need them to circulate petitions to gather signatures.
Yeah, but why should I take my time and do that? What's so fucking great about what you're offering?
I didn't give you the B squared part, to get to I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. I didn't finish up the message yet.
I'm saying that's the issue is you need to have some compelling reason to do that.
It's a speech, but I mean, the top 3 reasons for me are the national debt, the COVID-19 vaccines, and your property taxes and income taxes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I got it. Yeah. See, none of that shit I give a shit about. So I don't need to see what you're doing, because if that's what you're concerned with, I have no interest in any of that stuff.
Well, what would your top 3 priorities be if I were to put that message in?
It's over for the United States. China is now running the stuff. America can't stomach that, but it's true. It's over for America. The age of nation states is coming to an end, and we can let it happen to us, or we can manage this transition consciously. That's what we need to start talking about. The world is changing. There's a new world coming, and it's over for all the other nation states too, and we need to start talking about it and managing it, because if we don't, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. That's the subject. And of course, that's not going to get you elected to anything, probably. But you know, I want to see someone out there talking about this. No one's even talking about it.
So I'm running against Darren LaHood, who sits on the Chinese Oversight Committee, the Congressional Oversight Committee, and they have budgets of tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to do whatever the fuck it is that they do against China. And my point is, this guy's never read the Tao Te Ching. He probably knows nothing about Alan Watts, and he's probably very antagonistic against China. He funds.
Yeah, right. They're full of shit.
So he funds all this AI investment against Chinese AI, technology. But
we're just going to lose. It's already over. That's the thing, is that they don't get it. It's already over. It's over for the United States. It lost. It's done.
Yeah, but it's not about winning or losing. I mean, it's about, like you said, it's about management. So I'm just saying that I think I would be a better person qualified than this gentleman, because he's not.
I agree. You probably would be. But again, I just don't. That's fine. Listen, I'm sure you'd be better than most of the people who are running. Anyone who's read Alan Watts and knows about the Tao Te Ching, you got my vote. But I just don't give a shit about the United States and making it work better. Fuck the United States. Fuck China. Fuck Russia. Fuck all these nation states. I'm an earthling. We need to start operating as earthlings.
What would your top expat country be if you could, exit America with $10 million?
Oh, I don't know. Canada, maybe.
Really? You think Vancouver or Toronto?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, I don't think I need to worry about. I think the United States will be gone soon enough. California, by itself, we're the world's fourth biggest economy. Only Japan, China, the United States. No, I think we're fifth, and Germany, I think, are the only economies in the world that surpass California. The United States is a drag on us. Fuck the United States. California stands really nicely by itself.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think America's going to disappear, I mean, you've traveled coast to coast, you've seen all the major cities. I just don't see what you mean when you say it's going to disappear.
Take a look at some photographs. Go to Google and look at photographs of the 10 biggest cities in the United States from the air. The buildings, structures, stuff, and then do the same thing for China. Come back and tell me what you see. What you see is decrepit, failing structures in the United States and a whole new world emerging in China.
Yeah, I was looking at how much they spend in each major Chinese city, and in some cities they're spending $100 billion a year as their annual budget, but they've got 60 million people.
We have spent the last 50 years on our military, and we've run the world because of that, because we had more bombs and bombers and shit and the highest stuff and blah, blah, blah. And China has been spending its money on educating its youth and building its infrastructure. And now they're building military too, but they spent the last 40 years educating. They produce something like 10 times the STEM student, a PhD in China than we do. They've got a highly educated population now.
You know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
I know you said, you like drugs and meditation. And so what's interesting about, the Chinese is that in the U.S., the number one drug users are well-to-do Caucasian males. They're the highest percentage of that group.
Of what?
Of drug users, cannabis or other
drugs. Probably what particular. I think it depends on the drug. Anyway, go on.
Well, my point is, any population, no matter how advanced, always finds themselves in the same predicament of intoxication, mind-altering conscious, substances, meaning that it gets a little bored living in a highly organized, extremely efficient society with no contraband or illicit material. So I'm just saying that China, they face the same problems of like
China will
corruption.
be gone in another 10 years. It's just that for the short time at the end of the age of nation states, it's going to be on top before the whole nation state thing collapses. Yeah, they'll be gone in 10 years.
Why do you think nation states are going to collapse? Historically, I see the
Well,
shifting.
It doesn't make any difference. I'm not here to convince you. I mean, again, it's just my story. I think this is what's happening. I think what's happening is not something humans are doing. We are embedded subsystems living on a living organism that's undergoing some sort of metamorphic transformation of some kind. That's what's happening here. It's not something we are controlling or running the show. We are embedded subsystems.
Right. Well, the only problem with that theory is it leaves out words which seem to be the rules of the game. And if you can't use the words in communication.
What words is that? Or what do you mean?
Meaning that even if the Earth is becoming alive, or we are just...
No, it's not becoming alive. It's been alive all along.
No, I'm talking...
More than alive. It's not just living like we are.
Well, the transformation that you're talking about, the greater transformation, whatever that is, whatever the next change is.
Yeah, I'm saying Earth, let's say, like my body is made up of trillions of individual living cells, each doing, some of them are liver cells and some of them are muscle cells, and they're all doing their shit, but here I am, okay? And I'm saying we bear the same relationship to the planet. We're like the individual cells in its body. We're part of its brain, actually. We're like astrocytes. We're building its brain right now. But again, that's...
But your
that's
brain...
just my story.
But your brain is... See, what I'm saying is you think the casino is going to go out of business or the temple is going to get shut down,
No, that's not the way I think about it at all. Because, no, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be more like how when the Soviet Union disintegrated one Thursday evening.
But see, America...
Wednesday night, there was the Soviet Union, and the next day there was no Soviet Union.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm looking at my wall right now where I have Soviet, banknotes, and they're very large. I have $150 note. So it's like, okay, what you're saying is theoretically possible because obviously I'm looking at a defunct currency on my wall and that country doesn't exist anymore. And this is just artwork. Anyways, I'm just saying, I think your pessimism...
Well, it's not pessimism. I'm an optimist. It's necessary for the caterpillar to collapse in order for there to be a butterfly. This is all part of the process. That's not pessimism.
Well, you're no Thomas.
Pessimism if you're committed to the caterpillar. Yeah, if you're committed to the caterpillar, it's a sad story. But I'm not committed to the caterpillar.
I know you got your Gendo, but I got Thomas Jefferson in a book over here, and I don't have your book on my shelf. I'm still rooting for Thomas Jefferson. That's all I'm saying.
Thomas Jefferson was a good guy, but he lived a long time ago in a very different world. He probably would be a very different person in this civilization. Who knows who he might be? No, he was a great guy, but that was a long time ago.
There's some good people in history that did nothing.
Oh yeah, Marcus Aurelius. There's awesome stuff. There have been individual humans all the way back who have done great, amazing things. Back to the Greeks and Lao Tzu. Well, what can you say? Yeah.
Well,
there have been individuals throughout history who have been awake.
Well, they transmitted their joy through a book. And when you read Marcus Aurelius, there's moments of like sheer ecstasy of like the joy of being alive and, writing that book. So those are the people that bring the good news. I'm just saying that when I get into that booth on Friday, I want to bring the good news. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, listen, you just do what you got to do. Like I say, I just have no sympathy for the United States and trying to make it work. I think, good luck to you. If you can do anything that makes it work better, I'm all for you. I just don't give a shit. I really am. There's a Cal exit movement going on, and it's gaining strength now in California. California is, and Newsom has been really great. California's maybe getting closer to withdrawing.
But see, that'll
be interesting.
But the whole principle of union supersedes that. So what I'm saying is, that's all fake and bullshit. Like, that is literally just the opposite of union, which is nothing but political, and it can't happen because
you said that is the what is the opposite of union?
secession, Cal-exit.
But yes, it's exactly I don't want anything to do with the United States. I want to break any unification with the United States. Fuck the United States. It's a toxic entity full of a bunch of brain damaged language monkeys that elected an insane narcissistic asshole to run their fucking world for them. I don't want to be any part of those people. I don't want to change them. If that's the world they want, fuck them. They can have it. I'm out.
Well, what I'm saying is the principle of union is that it's always there, even if you can't detect it.
That's what a bunch of bullshit. What does that mean? It's always there, even if you can't detect it.
Well, it's technically a network, so that's the union. It's a network, and the network, you can try to disrupt it, but it just makes it malignant or ugly.
Well, there's no more Soviet Union. What happened to that network?
Well, there's retirees still collecting pensions in Moscow.
Okay, all right. Listen, I don't want to talk about it. This is bullshit. Well, no, it's not bullshit. It's just I'm not interested in talking about this kind of stuff.
Wait, I had one crazy final thought. This is like disassociative identity, but
okay, yeah.
If there's only one person who has ever lived, let's say, everybody's technically, the same person, just living in a different, identity or perspective or relativity.
Doesn't that make them different?
You know what solipsists are, or solipsism?
Yeah.
Alan Watts was like, I was thinking of a joke where a solipsist went to a solipsist seminar or trade show of other solipsists. How would they interact with each other, Yeah. And so I don't know. The thing is, if I think, therapeutically speaking, if Donald Trump is the rub that gets you angry, one way to counteract that is either view Donald Trump as a 5-year-old child, or know that somewhere in your 365 degrees of personality, there's a Donald Trump inside of you, somewhere in your soup of identity. It's a thought.
Well, there's plenty of bullshit tied up in my own language machine. I'm fully aware. I've gotten rid of most of it. Mine's pretty clear now after years of reprogramming. There isn't much of the old bullshit left in there, but I'm sure there's some. But no, I think it's quite possible to reprogram most of that stuff. I mean, I know it's possible because I've done it.
Yeah, dialectic therapy. I was talking to this therapist on this app a couple days ago, and she was discussing dialectical therapy and how much success she has had with her clients. And I was like, so basically you get them to read a book, right? And she's like, exactly. I was like, that's dialectic therapy, reading a book, right? She's like, pretty much. I don't know. I'm trying to make a joke out of it, but this is what I do. I mean, I spend too much time listening to people on this app when I would prefer to read books and create content, but I have found...
So why don't you do that?
I do, but I have found physically, really, you can only get about 2 hours a day out of your body to read and create audiobooks.
No, listen, for 30 or more years, I was able to read intensively and study between 4 and 6 hours every day.
Well, that's reading silently, though. I'm talking about recording audio, reading books out loud, creating audiobooks. Physically.
Oh, that's a whole different thing. That's not even... Yeah, that's not reading to learn, and that's a whole different thing. I don't even know why you call that reading.
The thing is, no, I listened to the playback years later, and so the thing is, I don't have to read that book again. I can just play the YouTube video of me reading the book, and then I learn even more from the audio recording.
It's got their own way of doing things.
I'm going the extra step. But I will say that once you record a book into audio, you never have to read that book again. You can just listen to the audio book.
Well, I very seldom have to read a book again anyway. I mean, there have been a few books, maybe 5 to 10 books that I've read more than once, but I read very well and I take lots of notes when I'm reading. So I usually don't need to reread it because I've incorporated whatever I read into my life. But there are a few books that I have reread.
Well, I know our time is coming to an end, so I'm wondering if I could just read you a poem by Rumi. Deals with the title of your room.
How long is it?
30 seconds.
Oh, hell yes. Go ahead.
There is a sun star rising outside the reality of form. I am lost in that other reality. It's sweet not to look at two worlds, to melt in meaning as sugar melts in water. No one tires of following the soul. I don't recall now what happens on the manifest plane. I stroll with those I have always wanted to know, fresh and graceful as a water lily or a rose. The body is a boat, and I am waves swaying against it. Whenever it anchors somewhere, I smash it loose or smash it to pieces. If I get lazy and cold, flames come from my ocean and surround me. I laugh inside them like gold, purifying myself. A certain song makes the snake put his head down on a line in the dirt. Here is my head, brother. What next? Weary of form, I came into qualities. Each quality says, I am a blue-green sea, dive into me. I am Alexander at the outermost extension of empire, turning all my armies inward toward the meaning of armies and heron.
That's Rumi?
Yeah.
God, I've never heard anything like that from Rumi before. That's really different than stuff I've heard. Anyway.
It's an ode. Yeah, it's called Like This, Rumi, 43 Odes, versions by Coleman Barks. It's a very good book.
Yeah.
I feel like if people read Rumi on this app, they'd be a lot happier. Every time I read Rumi, I'm just like, man, it really just like electrifies the soul. It can, in my opinion, if anybody's unhappy, they should read Rumi.
Again, it's different for different people. Different people get different things from different writers. Rumi isn't for everybody. Neither is Wittgenstein's.
Well, Rumi, anybody can read Rumi. It's not complicated.
Anybody can read. Well, yes, anybody can read anybody. You can do anything, but whether it speaks to them is, depending upon everybody's different.
Well,
you haven't noticed that?
Of course, but Rumi is intelligent because it's a compression. You could read Goethe, like a 600-page book by Goethe, and it's just too much information. Rumi is like a condensed soup. It's condensed in my opinion.
Whatever. Listen, you like Rumi. I like Rumi. I don't really all this intellectual shit about his nature. I just don't give a shit about it. Really.
Well, Rumi. I'm just saying Rumi, Lao Tzu. Anyways, these are all just mystical books which deal with God.
Well, okay.
So I'm just going back to your room title. Not God, no God, silly old concepts of God. So.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I'm talking mostly about the sort of Christian, Judeo-Christian, Islamic gods. Buddhism and the whole concept of God is really almost not even there. It's a whole different thing in Buddhism. So I'm really just talking about the, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Those are really silly old concepts of God.
Yeah. I mean, this was a really interesting query that I did on Grok. I think I tried to send it to you actually, but I asked Grok, I said, summarize the 10 most profound discoveries of Alan Watts. And then I said, give me the 10 most profound discoveries of C.G. Jung, and give me the 10 most profound discoveries of Sigmund Freud.
Oh, yeah.
And you could see the progression from Freud to Jung to Watts. And Watts's summaries were, the most compressed and up to date of the three. and Sigmund was like the building blocks, but Watts's were really interesting. It's very,
Yeah.
very,
Well, you're
very
going to have to
interesting.
add a fourth one on that list. I'm compiling another 10, the 10 ideas that I think are. Watts was great. Like I say, Watts is the most important person in the universe to me. He's the guy who woke me up. But still, when I listen to him today, I can see just all sorts of clumsy shit that he says that could have been said so much better. You know. So I'm actively working on really something very much like that, a series of statements that sort of summarize what's going on. The first of which is this whole idea of breaking identification with the voice in your head. Most of us are trained from infancy to identify with the voice in the head. That's me. I said that. I think this. I think that. That's bullshit. That's just plain fucking wrong. That's my language machine running its scripts according to its training. And it's not me. I'm not. What I'm doing right now, there's no time for me to be thinking about what I'm going to say. I haven't got time to choose the words that are coming out of my mouth as they come out of my mouth. This is the way my language machine works. But it's been significantly retrained.
You know, what's interesting is when you go into the military or the FBI, they grill you. Have you ever smoked cannabis? Have you ever smoked weed or pot? Because cannabis does break that association between the voice and your mind. And it can.
It certainly can.
So
that's why I say drugs have been a really fundamental part of my life. Absolutely. Drugs, meditation, linguistics, those three things were all essential. And drugs were really the beginning of it. The first time I smoked marijuana, I hallucinated wildly. And I was completely unexpected. I didn't even really know what marijuana was. A friend of mine brought some over and said, do this, and I did it. And I never really recovered from that. That totally changed my life. I had no idea that you could experience shit like that. And like I say, that just opened up a possibility that was absolutely. Actually, I think that was important. Probably Watts wouldn't have meant as much as he did if I hadn't already been smoking weed. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I know Christians that don't smoke weed, but they're still fascinated with Watts because he's that glaze or that missing sauce to what they don't have, which is the mystical aspect of Christianity. And there's a lot of Christians on this app who it's very cliquish and you could say like cultural or more cliquish, I guess. Like they want you to define your Christianity to be a part of their group. It's very, Watts describes it as like religious one-upmanship.
Yeah.
It's so pathetic though because it's not in. See, this app is.
Why do you even care? Why do you spend any time hanging around these people?
I guess it's because I'm lazy.
No, but you could be late. Listen, that takes some effort. You could be even lazier and just watch a fucking movie, or just sit there and meditate maybe, or hang around with your dog. I mean, there's all sorts of other things you could do. Why do you do that?
Because I'm a filmmaker, and to me, they're the cast, and I'm the crew.
I thought you were a politician.
Well, I'm a filmmaker too. I mean, I've uploaded over 25,000 videos into YouTube, 25,000 Instagram videos. Like I have scraped Clown House for 5 years.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know that you were doing other things. I figured you were okay. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you waste your time with politics when you can make film?
Because I can kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna make a film. One Friday when I go to this office, to do this, I'm gonna bring a tripod with my cell phone and live stream me having the conversation. Like, So that's what I did on the link that I put in the chat. He was very upset because he thought he had the copyright to our conversation, and I live streamed it.
You had the copyright to the conversation.
Well, we had no prior negotiation, no contract, no disclosure, nothing. And so, but after we filmed it all, he asserted his rights to the copyright, and my friend showed him the law, and then he got all upset, and then he said, "Fuck it," like, whatever. He gave up on it.
Yeah, because he was wrong.
Well, he was technically right, but I have the same copyright with my footage.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that you have the same thing. And since there was no discussion beforehand,
Right.
then it's all moot.
Right. Yeah. If he wanted to ask for an exclusive and say, I want to have the master cut, you can't have it.
Yeah. If he'd said something, then but nobody said anything. So fuck him. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. And I was so exhausted with the all the anger and the debate that, but I did write him a nice apology letter, and then he published everything, and it worked out. I just said, be still, be silent. I don't live my life to pick fights with people. I'm not that kind of a person, And then he just, I warmed him over, but it was such a good interview. I was like, you'd be crazy not to publish it, even if, you're upset about. It wasn't even me. It was a friend who was commenting in and causing a major beef and conflict. But, I'm not that person. And people get angry with me because of what other people say. I'm just like, you have to disassociate us. Like, we're not the same person.
Yeah. Also, that's easy to do. I mean, once you know what's going on, you just point that out. If they can't get it, then ignore it.
Yeah, just give up and move on. But anyways, well, I hope you have a great night. It's fun chatting with you as always. And, I would really encourage you to stretch those hamstrings, because interestingly enough, the hamstring is the only part of the animal you can't eat. So it must be telling you, work that hamstring.
What do you mean it's the only part you can't eat?
There's something in the books that says, it's not kosher or it's not permissible to eat the hamstring.
Oh, okay. Who cares? Okay, so what?
So
somebody said that. It's just another fucking muscle, like any other muscle in your body.
No, it's like pointing it. Well, what I'm saying is, like, in the mystical aspect would be like, oh, if it's telling me there's something special about the hamstring, maybe I should stretch my hamstring.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't put much weight in ancient literature's medical stuff. And you got your ideas. You're welcome to them.
I'm just having fun with my ideas. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. Have fun with it.
I got it.
Fun is the magic word, it's play. That's what Alan Watts says. The whole thing is.
That's pretty much it. Yep.
Well, this app is a great place for that, because it, like I said a minute ago, I'm lazy. It doesn't cost anything. There's no investment. There's no repercussions. It's a great place to experiment with trying to have fun.
Yeah, it can be. I'm here. I'm here every day. I find it a real contribution to my life. I have one or two actually interesting conversations a week. I mean, I went 40 years and I never had any really interesting conversations. I read books, but I didn't know any people who read the books and could have conversations with them about them. So, the fact that I can have one or two interesting conversations a week when I didn't have any for 40 years.
40 years. That's a long time of not having interesting
amazing.
conversations. That's true. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like, my mom calls me up and it's like, it's like she wants to have a clubhouse room with me. She wants to get that dopamine. I'm happy to do that with her, but I recognize how most conversations are superficial and just for the dopamine.
Yeah, I don't engage in those anymore. It's just,
I only do it because it's my mother. I want to return the favor.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I'm old, so I don't have anybody like that in my life. So I don't have to accommodate anybody.
Well, have a good one. It's been fun chatting as always, and hope you have a good Thor day.
Okay, John. Good luck on your interview.
I'll send it to you. Yeah. Thanks. I hope you
Yeah,
have a good
please
one.
do. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye. Mm.
So at least one person, or at least one person minimum should be black on injury pool.
Yeah, well, the problem with your example with juries is that both the defense attorney and the prosecuting attorney doing about.
Ooh, he kicked me from the muff. Oh, we're gonna find you. We're gonna find you. Where's the muff? In the muff. I think it was called In the Muff Plus. In the Muff Plus. No, it's private. What the fuck? Oh my god, I can't fucking join it. No. How the fuck did I see it though? Oh. Oh well.
Worst thing ever. It was a bunch of Republicans, I guess, over there huddled watching it, and we was over there laughing across the street because it was horrible. This is a sad embarrassment for our country. If he think that they finna run that back again, hell to the no. It's like Lisa.
And
available these are
without breaking, or you can store it for people to buy. Of course.
museum. This is from the 18th dynasty as well. GPTR.
Beautiful. That is.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is absolutely beautiful.
It's a work. It's a masterpiece. When I saw it, I stared at it for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
It was so endearing, and it's just another testament to Akhenaten, who, after reading about him, they say he was like a Michael Jackson in nature, or like a prince, as in like he was tapped into his feminine side. And he wouldn't be like a Alexander the Great, type of warrior, which is why he lost a lot of respect amongst his people and even the priests at the time. But he loved music. He loved like hanging gardens. He loved walks in the garden, and this is called Akhenaten and Nefertiti in the garden.
That's beautiful. It also feels. It looks like the equivalent of maybe. It's more candid than the typical.
Right. Correct.
It still has like an artistic flair to it, but it doesn't have this overly. What's the word I want?
My beer. That was in the one you're talking about. The one in 2018, 2025. I mean, it's still fucking bad. They said it was estimated between 25 and 45.
Oh, my bad. You're right.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. 25 and 30 million. I was reading the old one.
Well, LAPD officers are pissed off that they've been pulled because they need to now protect Kamala Harris. So, didn't she get her detail pulled by Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Well, that's Secret Service. That's a different
Who are
budget.
they pissed at, though?
Let me see. I'll say in a minute. I didn't open it up. 14, as many as 14 of LAPD's elite metro divisions
have been pulled from working cases in crime suppression efforts to provide security for Kamala Harris. They said they mad at her. Who they mad at? Two plainclothes officers sitting in a driveway outside Harris's home in upscale Brentwood neighborhood. I didn't know she lived in Brentwood. I thought she lived in San Francisco, Scotty.
No, her and her husband live in Brentwood.
I didn't know that. So President Trump withdrew her Secret Service protection, and then they got 14 of LAPD's elite Metro Division officers to now protect her. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how much this is costing, and then why they mad. Let me see. Keep scrolling.
It's also within the budget already, right? Like all ex-VPs and presidents have a budget. It's already budgeted for Secret Service details. So Trump pulling that, he's the one who put it on the NYPD. Like he's the one who did that. It's already budgeted for. He wanted to do a political stance by withdrawing the Social Security redundancy that's already in place. It's just another, now they're mad. Well, of course they are. You just dried up something that was already funded.
It's a ploy. She only is supposed to get 6 months after. Every vice president only gets about 6 months after. She got about 8 months or 9 months after. 9 months. So it's just something to rile people up, man. It's not anything.
Yeah, this is politics.
But I'm saying it's not a slight to Kamala Harris.
I'm saying the same thing. Same thing.
So this Karen Best is saying that she's committed to working with the governor to secure the security of Kamala Harris. It doesn't say who the officers wouldn't talk to the press about this.
Well, it's Officer O'Malley, O'Hanahan, and O'Kerrigan, obviously.
The LAPD office didn't respond when they asked.
That was almost funny.
Come on, you guys are killing me.
Yeah. Trump cut off taxpayer-funded security for members of the Biden family, including the former president's son, Hunter. We knew that was coming. Daughter, Ashley. Former National Institute of Health, Dr. Anthony Fauci. You knew that was coming. I'm surprised he didn't find somebody to go and try to take him out. Take his security, didn't find somebody to try to poison his food or some shit like that. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, former National Security Advisor John Bolton, and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo are all the ones that Trump made his fucking list and cut off all their security. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with protecting her. Does anybody disagree on feel that she should just hire her own security or just say fuck it, go to Costco by herself?
Well, I think, look, I mean, if her security detail is going to be taking others, I'm sure are going to step in her place, step in for security, excuse me. And that's what I think.
God, we do affirm that God really does get angry. And does.
Are we saved by the blood or are we saved by the Holy Spirit?
One second. Allow me to finish. You said, God is a robot because he doesn't have emotions. Yep. Okay? You said that God is a robot because he doesn't have emotions. Yep. But that's not true.
वो तो पीजी नहीं कहते पीजी अंडर 18 अडल्ट्रस कहाँ से आ गया अरे पीजी यार होता है उसमें भाई
have your sidearm on you.
Oh my God, here we go with the guns. So everybody should know.
Well, I'm sorry, I did.
The military and the police.
Well, civilians you can have a defense gun. You don't have to go out here and have an AR-15 or some long rifle. I'm not saying go down to the shop and go get a long rifle. Go check out a couple of sidearms on. You know what I mean? You can get a 6-shooter. Go check them out. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go out here and go buy the biggest gun and all that. Go out here and just buy something reasonable that you can handle, that you know that you can shoot. That's all I'm saying, and do it within the law that's applicable to the state you live in. I'm not saying go out and be crazy, but get some kind of small sidearm, something.
Sister Ashton, this is the Texas in you talking.
I'm sorry?
I said, this is the Texas in you.
Yeah. In Texas, a sidearm is an A10 Warthog.
Well, yeah, but I said a small, like a handgun. So we're not saying going out and go get an AR-15.
Texas needs to leave the union. Okay, so, and I hope you guys went out and bought you a Powerball ticket, because we all in this room did. Everybody went out and bought a Powerball ticket before the room got going. So I hope one of us win, and we've all agreed to share if one of us wins.
Yeah.
We're currently in the room when I reminded y'all, so don't forget.
I sent you your numbers, Lisa. I told you.
I'm giving 2% out to everybody if I win, because Illinois is at $1 billion.
Yeah, it's 1.3 billion for Saturday's draw.
I've been robbing people just for their Powerball tickets. It's a whole new thing.
Starts knocking people upside the head with this too.
Take my money. No, I want your ticket. I want your Powerball ticket.
So I got one more. We're doing breaking news. So there was a University of Kentucky cheerleader, who's, I don't know what's going on with the girl. She's 21 years old. She was arrested Sunday after cops in Lexington, Kentucky, found her deceased infant wrapped in a towel inside a black trash bag in her closet in an off-campus residency. So I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. I don't know what's going on here at all.
Mental sickness.
I don't know, but we're going to skip over the Kentucky cheerleader who hid her dead newborn in a closet. But she listed one of her goals on social media. See how social media is the biggest fucking lie, and everybody gets to go on and just live out there. I don't know what it is.
It's also a narc. And social media is a narc.
Yeah, she said that one of her goals was to be a mother. And she put her dead baby in the closet in a trash bag.
Did the child die?
Yeah, dead.
She put her goal as being a mother? That's cold.
See, this is this fucking social media. Fucking social media.
She suffocated her own child.
This is crazy. But that happened. Well, anyway, let me find out what else is going on. What else is going on, you guys? Okay, so what happened? Wait a minute, I lost it. I was trying to figure out what was going on with what's the basketball player I told you guys he just came across my feed and then I lost it. Who are we talking about? Well, anyway, now I can't freaking find it. Damn it. Oh, Kyrie Irving. Did anybody know what's going on with Kyrie Irving? Why he showed up on my feed and now I can't find out what the hell he's. No. Oh, it's Kawhi Leonard. Oh, wait, hold on. What is this? Hold on, you guys. Makes the Clippers stance clear and Kawhi Leonard endorsement scandal. He had an endorsement scandal? Y'all sports people should be able to help with this. I don't know what's going on. I got a whole bunch of men who don't watch sports. Let's see what it is.
No, I didn't. He used an endorsement deal to circumvent NBA salary cap.
Yeah,
the Clippers did that. So
yeah, that wasn't him.
Okay.
It was the Clippers organization.
But they did it on his behalf, though.
Right.
Oh, okay. So there's gonna be a problem.
It is definitely a problem. It's to the tune of about $28 million. That's a problem.
Huh. Okay.
No, that's the
that whole story.
That's what it is. Matter of fact, let me go get it out. So you can do that.
I love some Kyrie.
Oh, here it is. I'm just glad it wasn't the Lakers.
For real though, right?
There it is. I put it in the chat so you can.
All right, thank you. Okay, all right. Anybody else know anything before I'm trying to make sure we covered everything because when the doctor came, it just went straight to that, and I appreciate her for being here. I really do. I really, really appreciate the doctor for being here. So let me see if I can make sure we covered everything today. Let me go to the Guardian, make sure we got everything. You guys, it's gonna be a long week. Okay, so did anything positive come out of this? Okay, so what I'm understanding from these ladies is that they want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein, and come to find out that one of them said that Jeffrey Epstein had Trump's picture, like life-size picture, sitting on his desk. I mean, there's definitely a connection here, and if you guys don't think it's a connection, shame on you. I can't talk about it tonight because I haven't had a chance to research it the way I wanted to. Trump and Jeffrey.
See, I
Not
don't
just the
think-
fact that they really said that.
I don't think they should be forced to talk about Epstein. He's dead. If it doesn't have anything to do,
files, yeah.
but if it doesn't have it, yeah. But if it has something to do with Donald Trump, because why put these women through that again? If it doesn't have anything to do with Donald Trump, and if he's not involved in this, then there's no reason to bring this to rehash this on behalf of those women, because I mean they have to relive it again.
Well, first he has to prove he's
Do
not
we know what's
involved.
in the files?
But I
could
thought that
Because
he wanted.
he is obviously involved, right? Like he is.
Absolutely.
There is video, photographic, and written evidence that he is involved in it. Right, so you have to first separate him from his involvement with Epstein, to then separate him from his previous.
But one doesn't imply the other. So I mean, if we're being fair,
right, you're right about that.
One
yes.
doesn't imply the other. But I'm saying if this information puts him there, and these women can put him there and see that he was part of this in some, in some direct or indirect way, then yes, let's bring it into the, let's bring it to the forefront.
But it
If
does
not,
already.
it really is a waste of time.
No, how's it a waste of time? This guy.
That's what I said, though. It is a waste of time.
Yeah, how is it?
Don't happen.
I'm saying if it doesn't imply, or if it doesn't imply the president, the current president of the United States is involved in this in some way, then it is fruitless and puts these women through something that they don't need to endure again. And the man the woman who participated and is still alive, obviously, but she's in jail. She's serving a sentence, and the man is dead. I thought what was interesting, though, that I've heard rumor about but didn't know, but there was a congresswoman who confirmed that he may actually be an intelligence agent. That was interesting.
Wait a minute.
Agent.
Wait a minute.
You didn't know that?
You're saying that because Epstein is dead?
Yeah, she implied it. I'll find the video.
That if Trump was participating in any sort of child sexual abuse while Epstein was alive, that it doesn't matter anymore?
No, you're not listening. I'm saying that if it does implicate the president of the United States now, then by all means. But if it does not, then there's no need to rehash.
Then why did they admit they had the Epstein papers, and then why did they not?
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that. I believe that he was. I think common sense says, "With this smoke, there's fire." I'm not saying if that's not the case. If that's not the case, we'd be honest, because they can see this. Now, from what I understand, it's still redacted. So it's still in the minds of some of the people. It doesn't really count. It cannot be redacted when the intelligence agency.
Who redacts it? The
intelligence committee looks at it.
Yes. Who redacts things? Not the intelligence agencies redact them.
Right.
Nobody can read that.
And the intelligence agencies have been replaced for their head leaders by Trump. So now you have a person influencing the redaction.
Hold on, Lisa. I'm going to find that video of the woman, the Congress. As a matter of fact, when she was coming out of that hearing, she said that. Hold on.
And that would make sense.
Okay, that's weird. That's crazy.
That would make a bunch of sense. That Epstein, I mean, if you have a all-you-can-eat buffet island, then the next thing is for the NSA to plan somebody to bring in anybody of the world to get more information on them. I mean, it's kind of the CIA's playbook. That would make sense. I would need some evidence of that, but that would be spycraft 101.
Okay, I have it here. Let me see if we can play it. Hold on. Y'all told me how to do this audio quality thing. See, oh, here it is. And this is for context. This is Rep Luna. Hold on a second. Damn it, what the hell's wrong with this thing here? This is Anna Paulina Luna, who she's a representative of Florida's 13th congressional district. She was just coming out of this hearing. This is what she said. Hang on.
The biggest thing that stands out to me is the victims themselves have stated that this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are obviously going to be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury, and also too following up on that. There's some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries. But also, too, I think the questions that we have is how much did our own government know about it? And so there's more to follow, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from the chairman momentarily. But I do applaud the victims from coming forward, because we heard from a woman who is as young as 14 years old